And we are live. What is up, everybody? Welcome to 2021 in the land of Kino. Just going to be kind of going through 2020 today. You know, 2020 was a big year for this channel, and I think there's a lot to go over. So today is January 3rd, and exactly 1 year ago, I was at, I think, about 300 subscribers. Maybe less than 300. I was somewhere around there, though. I was at almost none. In fact, I had this idea in my head that I wasn't a real YouTuber until I had more YouTube subscribers than I had Facebook friends. And I think I have like, I don't know, 1,200 or 1,300 Facebook friends, something like that. I never use Facebook, so if you send me a friend request on Facebook, I'm just not even gonna see it. But I had this idea. I wasn't a real YouTuber until I had more subscribers than I had Facebook friends. So, I didn't really consider myself a YouTuber back then, but I'm saying back then, but it's only a year ago. But anyways, so what changed everything was about a little less than a year ago, somewhere in like mid-January, I bought a Blu-ray of The Lighthouse, and I ended up watching it something like 3 times in 2 days, and I just consumed everything. I just consumed everything like concerning The Lighthouse. Commentaries. I was watching like every single interview with the director and with the stars and everything like that. Just absolutely everything. Like I became, in the span of a weekend, I think I became the world's most renowned Lighthouse scholar. I knew every single grip that they had on the thing. I could probably list off like most of the crew members to you. It was, and I just had to sort of make that into a video. So I ended up making my Lighthouse video, not because I wanted really anybody to watch it, but it just felt like the natural thing to do because I was so immersed just in this film, and it was just a way for me to kind of like move past it, because how I operate is I get these like mini obsessions where I just get like obsessed with a particular movie or director or a star or something like that, and I just have to like go through all of their stuff. I just have to do something big, and every time I make a video, it's sort of a way for me to move past that obsession, kind of move on to something new. Except with Orson Welles, making the Citizen Kane video was really just sort of whetting my appetite as far as Orson Welles is concerned. And I just had a bunch of Orson Welles movies arrive this weekend. So I just got Macbeth, The Stranger, Chimes at Midnight, and I got something else. I got another Orson Welles movie I'm blanking out on right now. But yeah. Oh yeah, and Anne Frankenberry says Anna Karina. I know. Rest in peace, Anna Karina. Did she die? She died, was it this year or was it last year? Oh man, she was so pretty. Beautiful, beautiful women. So I want to address something. Any of you guys that follow my Twitter, the last couple days, I've been playing a bit of a character where I'm like a Mediterranean guy. Where I'm like, oh yeah, Immortal Story. That was the other one. Immortal Story is the other one I bought. Thanks, Anne Frankenberry. Yeah, that's the other one I bought. I was trying to get a copy of The Trial. It's just like I found like these Euro DVDs that, The Trial's really hard. I might have to go to the high seas, if I want to watch The Trial. And the good thing is that Mr. Arkadin, I haven't seen it yet, but the good thing is that's on Criterion Channel. But I prefer to buy physical, like the physical stuff, especially since I'm going to be doing a big video on Citizen Kane. Having the Blu-ray to rip makes it a lot easier for me to make a video. But yeah, Anna Karina, I loved her. All the stuff she was in, she was absolutely gorgeous. And speaking of beautiful women, as I was saying before, I got a little sidetracked. On Twitter, I've been tweeting about how I love beautiful women. I've been, I've been saying, like good night to all the beautiful women who follow me. I've been, and I've been doing it like in broken English, just because I'm sort of, I'm sort of like playing a character of like a Mediterranean, like an Italian or a Frenchman who speaks in broken English and loves women. The character's based on a few friends of mine. It's really easy because all I have to do is think, how do they talk? You know, how have they texted in the group chats when they're talking about women? And basically, I just do that on Twitter. I find it really funny. But of course, I do love beautiful women, and you know what? There's truth in all the shit posts, right? There's truth in it, because it sounds very Greek. Yeah, I mean it's just Mediterranean in general, right? But there's truth in it, because seeing a beautiful woman in a playing a character, yeah, seeing a beautiful woman in a movie is great. There's like, who doesn't like here's the thing, who doesn't like looking at beautiful people? You know, it's harder to watch a movie where the main character's super ugly, unless maybe there's like a point to it, like the Elephant Man or something, you know, where he's like obviously deformed and everything. But the thing is that there's an aesthetic pleasure to looking at beautiful people, to looking at people who are attractive. And, you know, when they're up on the big screen or on the small screen or whatever screen you're watching it on, I mean, you're spending 2 hours staring at these people. You want to you want to make sure, or, you know, if you're the film director, filmmaker, or whatever, casting director, you just want to make sure that it's you want to make sure that these people are nice to look at. And I think that you know, obviously, like, there are maybe men that aren't as nice to look at, but I think that both women and men really cherish the sort of feminine, the sort of feminine beauty, you know, of this sort of these like femme-dao, right? And I think that men and women both cherish that, probably more than men and women like looking at the more attractive males. You know, and that was true in art, and that's true in film, I think, at least. You know, I don't think it's, people like to say stuff about the male gaze and stuff like that, but if you look at women directors, I mean, they like showing off pretty girls too. So, you know, like, it's good to have yeah, and Anne Frankenberry says they're an ideal, and the average person wants to identify with the pretty people. It aids cinema in being a vicarious experience. Yeah, exactly. You know, and if, you know, and there is something to say watching a movie like Superbad, right, where you have these two sort of schlubby dudes. He's explaining really hard right now. Shut up, Billy. But anyways, gosh, what was I saying? Yeah, in Superbad, you have these two schlubby dudes that get with these, or three schlubby dudes, really, that get with these, you know, Emma Stone and I don't know who else. But anyways, pretty attractive women. And, you know, in that case, Superbad is sort of a fantasy, a sort of that. In that case, it is sort of a male fantasy, because it's sort of like, hey, look, the nerdy guys can get the attractive women, which, I mean, I guess is, you know, somewhat true, but, you know, it's that's definitely more of a fantasy. But I mean, I think just having pretty women, like Antonioni films, you know, all the beautiful Italian women in there. I think everyone likes looking at them. I mean, La Ventura is a beautiful movie. So Brigitte Bardot didn't become a star on accident. Yeah, that's right, you know. And same with Catherine Deneuve. It's just, I like a beautiful women. But anyways, going back to 2020 year in review. Going back to 2020 year in review. So about about a year ago, I made my Lighthouse video, which blew up, and I gotta say, that video got me monetized, and it's weird seeing a video that you didn't think was going to be seen by anybody, and you're just making it for yourself, all this, like, in the course of a week, get over 100,000 views, and cause you to, get over 1,000 subscribers, and, cause you to get over 1,000 subscribers. I followed that up with my video on Bresson, which was like a 30-minute, I think it's like 26-minute video on Bresson, and I knew that it wasn't going to do as well as The Lighthouse. It's actually done fairly well this year. It's done a lot better than I imagined it would do, but again, I mean, like, each of my videos, I don't necessarily like have a sort of like plan. I'm not a man with a plan. Yeah. I don't really have a plan. It's just sort of like whatever my obsession of the day is. But then I made my Uncut Gems video, and that actually didn't. Now, for the people who've been with me for a while, Billy and Anne Frankenberry and some of you guys, and even Jared, you guys have been here for a while, and you guys probably blah 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 blah. As you guys probably saw, my Uncut Gems video actually didn't perform that well at first. It blew up after Uncut Gems was added to Netflix a few months later. And that's really when it blew up, and that's what pushed me to this movie YouTuber just quoted The Dark Knight. I'm out of here. I know. Okay, so 2020 has been a year of where it started off really, like, the first half of the year was almost like exponential growth. And then the second half of the year, I think, for my channel has been a lot less growth. I've gone from 300 subscribers to over 12,000 subscribers in the course of a year. But most of that I think was in the first half of the year. I've had pretty steady growth since my Uncut Gems video released. But I do think that I have become more creative, and I think that I've gotten a lot better at my videos. And it's always sort of weird, right? Thinking about this is like the videos that I don't necessarily cherish that much. The videos that I just kind of think of as being like, I made those in like 3 days. They're the videos that do really well, and then the ones that do really well are the ones that I'm thinking in circles here. But the ones that I spend a lot of time on tend not to be the ones that do very well. You know what? I Want to See Safe. That's the Todd Haynes movie. I haven't seen it yet. I just saw some sort of promo for it the other day. That's with Julianne Moore, I think. Yeah, I really want to see it. I like Todd Haynes. I liked Carol, and I liked Wonderstruck, and whole bunch of his films. No one cared about him until he put on the Polo Association. I don't really know. I don't really know what the ASSN stands for. But yeah, the second half of the year, I did kind of go Joker mode, both in my personal life and on my persona. Personal life, the year wasn't too great for me. I'm not going to get into it, but it was a very bad year. But thankfully, you guys have been here to keep me company and talk about movies every time I just decide to stream. Yeah, and Frankenberry, that's a good question. So in Frankenberry asks, do you think you will stick with more art house videos to expose more people to them, or you try to focus on more mainstream movies to help grow your channel? Maybe a 50-50. Yeah, so my next... So I think it's going to be more of a 50-50. I think it's going to be more of a 50-50. So actually, the next video I'm coming out with is not going to be on this channel. It's going to be on the Gamer from Mars's channel. And I just finished, like an hour ago, I just finished the rough cut of it. And so Art is looking at it right now, and it'll be up on his channel. I'm waiting for him to text me to text me some notes. It'll be up on his channel this week. It's almost completely done. I just basically have to go in there now and do some tweaking and keyframing and stuff like that. Very kind of simple stuff. That'll be up on his channel. And that is about the silent film London After Midnight, but it's also about the Apu trilogy. And so I thought it was cool that I could write and edit a video for him. He's going to put up on his channel that I'm not in the video, but I wrote it and I edited it. So essentially, it's a Kino Corner video hosted by the Gamer from Mars. I think it's cool that I get to expose his really massive audience to the Apu trilogy and to a whole bunch of silent movies and A Brighter Summer Day and stuff like that. Like, to me, that's really cool. As far as my own channel goes, my next video I have almost finished written. I almost finished writing it. And it's going to be a very big video. It's going to be longer than 30 minutes. It's going to be my big sort of like breaking out the new year sort of thing. And I've talked about this. I know I've talked about this many times, but it's going to be about the guide to cinema, beginner's guide to cinema. And it's going to be a mix in there of talking about mainstream stuff, but also trying to expose people to cooler indie and foreign movies, stuff like that. I don't think I'm going to be talking too much about Bela Tarr in the Beginner's Guide to Cinema, because that's not really like beginners, like I'm not going to like put on the Turin horse if a person's only seen Transformers. It just that's just like throwing a person in the deep end. The stuff I still have to write about in terms of that goes are the French New Wave, Italian Neorealism, New Hollywood, and then sort of just kind of the whole like end of the 20th century and beginning of the 21st century in terms of film. Yeah, I love Satan Tango. I think I'm going to buy that. Arbalos is releasing the Blu-ray of Satan Tango next week, I think. Next week, yeah. I'm definitely going to cop that. I couldn't afford it when they first announced it, so I'm not going to be able to get the, like they had the 500 copies with the slip, like the limited edition slipcover. So, Alan Sowersby, can you do a Kino review on TV shows like Twin Peaks, Neon Genesis, Evangelion, and Mr. Robot? Yeah, I love Twin Peaks. I love Neon Genesis, Evangelion. I'm watching Breaking Bad right now. I'm finally watching it. The only thing about TV shows is just from a technical perspective on my end, or just sort of a work, it's just a lot of footage, a lot of stuff to work with for like television shows. And so it's like I can do a movie review and I'm dealing with 2 hours of footage. I'm dealing with a story that's very easy for me to sort of like wrap my head around and everything like that. And with television, there's a lot of like, it's an A story and a B story and a C story and stuff like that. Now, the good thing about something like Breaking Bad or like Neon Genesis is that it's all fairly easy to follow. You know, Evangelion definitely is a little bit harder to follow in the later episodes, but I do kind of include Evangelion in my beginner's guide to cinema, just as far as like, there's a bit where I'm talking about like Japanese films and anime and stuff like that. And Evangelion is definitely one of my favorite animes. Can you please do a review on Nostalgia Critics' The Wall? Yeah, I can. I'm actually gonna do the review of Nostalgia Critics' The Wall after I do this beginner's guide to cinema. So, kind of getting back to what Anne Frankenberry was asking me. After I do my beginner's guide to cinema, which is going to be like this huge broad thing, I'm going to do a couple short videos. One of which is going to be me reviewing Nostalgia Critics' The Wall, and it's going to be me challenging Doug Walker to a fight. I want to box Doug. I actually, unironically, want to box Doug Walker. I want to meet him in the ring. I think it would be hilarious. I think it would be epic and based. So I will be. The video is just gonna be about me going crazy while watching The Wall. Like, it's so bad. I don't know. I tried watching The Wall when he first dropped it. I tried watching the whole thing, and I think I made it about 15 minutes in. I was like, I just cannot do this. I cannot do this. But ever since JU commented on my video with Internet Historian saying, do a review on Nostalgia Critics' The Wall, then that's pretty much every single comment that I have under that video. And at this point, I can't not do it. Look, I'm a man of the people. I'm a man of the people, okay? And so I'm going to review Nostalgia Critics' The Wall. But, however, the price for reviewing Nostalgia Critics' The Wall is that I should be allowed to fight Doug Walker after I have to endure his creation, right? I should be allowed to, to punch him a few times in the face in a sports sort of arena, in a controlled space. I'm not going to, find out what bar he likes to get drinks at or something and then, do what that guy did to the quartering. But, in the ring, I'm going to have a few months, I doubt he's going to respond to me. I really doubt it. I hope he does, because I've got a few tricks up my sleeve, and I will gladly train for however long I have to train, to box Doug Walker. It's going to be like Kino Blood Sports. It's going to be like Andy Worski versus Tonka, except both of us are going to show up. I'm going to be Andy Worski, obviously. Look, once I said that, and it says it's going to be Worski versus Tonka all over again. Yeah, there's a latency, so, I don't know, it's like a minute or something like that. But yeah, literally once I said it's going to be Worski versus Tonka, you put in the chat. Doug is massive. How tall is Doug? Let me look this up. How tall is Doug Walker? I'm not a small guy either. I'm bigger than Doug Walker. I'm bigger than Doug Walker, guys. I just have to get some more meat on my bones. But, I'm taller than him by like 3 inches. Yeah, so I think I could win. I'm thinking that Kino could win. So, God is on my side. I will destroy the enemies. One of the enemies is Doug Walker because he created the Nostalgia Critics The Wall. You know what, Billy? You know that's not true. There's actually a photo at my Christmas party this year. There was a photo at my Christmas party this year where I was standing with like the other people in the clinic that I work with, and they're all women, and I'm like a foot taller than everybody else, and I just look really like awkward and out of place. Yeah, Ethan Ralph. I met Ethan Ralph a couple weeks ago. I think I talked about this on stream. Yeah, we met Ethan Ralph a few weeks ago. He's very fat. Ethan Ralph is a fat man. That's about all I have to say about Ethan Ralph. But yeah, so winner takes on Ralph the movie maker. Yeah, you know what? Maybe after Doug, I hit up Ralph. I hit up Linkara. Okay, guys, we got to think about who I need to fight, because Kino is not just another word for movie, right? This is like, it's like Islam, right? Kino is like Islam. There is the House of Islam, the House of Kino, and then there's the House of War. So everything that's not in the Kino corner space, everything that's not us, is the House of War. Of course, we're not going to actually go out and war with people, but we will, but we will, and I mean I will, challenge them to boxing matches. I will challenge them to fight. And so anyone who is in the film space, I will challenge to a fight. And when I have beaten them, they will then become the House of Kino, because they will be my conquered enemies. So we have Doug Walker, we have Ralph the Movie Maker, Lindsay Ellis, who else? Linkara. Who else here who else? Karsten Runquist, Taylor J. Williams. I can totally take on both of those guys. I think I can take them on at the same time too. Taylor J. Williams and Karsten Runquist. Any thoughts on Sneed, formerly Chucks? I prefer Sneed to Chuck. That's all I have to say about that. But I can take on all these guys. And what's going to happen? Oh, yeah, no, Chris Stuckman, Angry Joe. Yeah, Angry Joe, definitely. Chris Stuckman, Angry Joe, Jeremy Johns. Look, they're all gonna fall to Kino. They're all gonna fall to the House of Kino. I don't know much about Taylor J. Williams, but he and I have a couple friends in common. That's like the only. So I don't know why he doesn't follow me, honestly, because we have a few friends in common. And he doesn't follow me, and I'm like, what the hell, dude? But whatever. Yeah, you know what? I don't get okay, so I'm going to talk some mad shit right here, guys. Look, it's just the 12 of us, all right? 11 people watching me. I think I'm pretty safe. You know what? And if Karsten Runquist's watching this, then I challenge him to a fight too. I already challenged him to a fight, but you know what I mean. I tried looking at like what people saw in Karsten Runquist, and I thought all of his videos were boring. He makes these videos like what I watched last month, and I'm just like, who cares? I don't know, but they get pretty good views. But with almost all of his videos, it's just a lot of like, who cares? Like I just constantly ask myself like, who cares? I try to, I try to be very informative in my videos, and I try to, I don't know, teach. I love educating the masses. I'm definitely, I love, I don't know, sharing information and stuff like that. And this videos just seemed very superficial. Seemed very like just not much there as far as meat goes. And I don't really like. I don't know. He's just the face of like Letterboxd. He's like the Letterboxd YouTuber. Surface level criticism. Yeah, I would agree. I don't get it. I just don't get it. I guess people like it because, all right. So I'm gonna say some wild shit right now, and it's that I think that Red Letter Media's criticism is pretty surface level. Well, it's very surface level, you know, and they get away with it because they don't pretend to be anything more than that. Now, their reviews, they go more in depth. Their reviews, like, you know, that particular series that they have, they go more in depth, and I actually like their reviews. I think that that's their best series. I actually think their worst series is Half in the Bag, and I know that that's like their big thing, but it's just sort of like listening to them recount the plots of the movies. Yeah, Red Letter Media reviews dumb mainstream crap. It's hard to be so deep. Yeah, it is, and that's why I think that their most interesting videos are their reviews where they talk about films that you can talk about more at length, like Eraserhead or Pink Flamingos or True Stories. Like really interesting films. But yeah, as far as Half in the Bag goes, I'll pretty much just I'll pretty much just like watch a Half in the Bag when I don't really feel like watching the movie. But if I want to watch the movie, I'm not going to watch the Half in the Bag on it, because watching Half in the Bag just sort of like feels like, then it's like I know what the story is, I know like the basics of the movie, but I don't have to spend 2 hours watching it. But if I want to watch the film, then why would I want to watch the Half in the Bag? It just doesn't make sense to me. And if I watch the film, then there's really no point in me watching Half in the Bag, because it's just going to be recounting stories or recounting the plot. I've actually been thinking about, I've had a video on True Stories kind of sitting on, I've had a video on True Stories sitting on the back burner for a while. Yeah, I really want to do a video on True Stories, and I have a lot of thoughts on it. More like Reddit letter media. Yeah, I mean, I sometimes call them that too, Reddit letter media. Here, I gotta read some of these chats. Plinkett reviews are entertaining, but all the criticisms are dumb nitpicks. Yeah, I agree. And it kind of like Plinkett is fun to watch, but it did start this kind of annoying YouTuber reviewing criticism trend where they're just nitpicking movies and kind of going through scene by scene, which I don't really like. It's just, for me, it's just annoying, and it's just kind of mind numbing. Not gonna lie, he ruins he ruins all my favorite films by saying basic takes on them. I think he has this massive brain because he's seen a Bresson or an Antonioni. I don't know who that's talking about, but like, he reviewed Dead Man and basically said nothing. He said it was like a vibe and he didn't really understand what it was about. Is that Your Movie Sucks? Yeah, I don't like Dead Man. To me, I mean, there was a lot of sense, symbolism, all that kind of stuff that was going on. I really enjoyed Dead Man. I wouldn't necessarily say it's a vibe. I mean, there's stuff in it that you can definitely vibe to, but Little off topic. What about the Deep or Dumb series by Wisecrack? I don't know what that is. So, some people here might know, but I don't watch a lot of YouTube. You know, I watch a lot of Criterion stuff. Oh, Karsten. Your movie fucks bugs. Oh, actually, no. Speaking though of YouTube, Karsten. Yeah, Karsten's very. Is that Ochre Pine? I really, Philippe. I really don't know. The Neil Young soundtrack is definitely a vibe. But so anyways, have you guys seen Toad McKinley's videos about that zoophile guy, Spink, I think is his name. I've been listening to those while I've been working this weekend. And that's super messed up. You know, just disgusting. Like, and the fact, I don't know. I don't know if you guys have been listening to that or have heard of that. But yeah, it's pretty intense. Would you ever think about reviewing student films or short films by famous directorships? Yeah, you know, actually, I had this idea for a thing on my channel where I would review short films or something if people sent in to me, but the thing is that I don't like hurting people's feelings, so people sending in student films, usually there's not a lot of good to say. Like, I like to point out things that I think can be improved or things I like and stuff like that. But I realize that if I was to do it in a public way, even if my intentions are literally just to help the person out, it could be a bit humiliating. So, so I decided if I was going to do anything like that, it would be behind the scenes. I'm a big fan of the prequels, and it's sad seeing so many reviews that are just quotes from the Plinkett reviews disguised as actual criticism. That's something, though, that happens with these kind of YouTube reviews. I guess back in the day, people would quote, I don't know, Pauline Kael or whatever other bullshit film critic. Because so I think that a lot of people really like to get their opinion from somebody else. For a couple of reasons, either they don't really have an opinion themselves, but this opinion sounds smart, or this opinion sounds smug, or something like that, and they know that they can have this opinion, and it might make them sound smart, and it's also socially acceptable. Or B, they deep down have an opinion themselves, but it's too risky to, it's too socially risky to espouse your own opinion. So it's easier to just sort of say the opinion that somebody else has, right? Because if it gets criticized, if people don't agree with you, then you can just think you can just think to yourself, well, this wasn't really my own opinion. They're criticizing this other person. My ego has escaped. My ego is unbruised, so to speak. So I think that with YouTube and movie criticism, especially becoming big on YouTube. I mean, not becoming big; it has been big. And a lot of younger people, especially, because I think older people are more likely to tell you what they think. Younger people like to sort of follow trends, especially kids, but even people my age, I guess, like to follow trends and stuff like that. And they listen and they look up to these people, these personas. I mean, I guess I'm sort of one of those, because I've even seen people saying the exact same thing that I said in a video when they're talking about a movie, where it felt like they plagiarized me, something that I said, and it felt, honestly, to me, it felt weird, you know? Like, the point of my video, I think it was about Uncut Gems. I don't know. But the point of my video wasn't to make everyone think exactly like me. It was to get people to think about the film beyond maybe what they had just experienced when they watched it on Netflix, and get them to think about the making of the film, and get them to think about the pacing, and, you know, get them to kind of broaden the scope of how they think about the film, so that they can come up with their own conclusions. And it was really weird seeing people just parrot what I was saying, because that's ultimately not what I want. That's really not what that's not the end goal that I want. I don't want people parroting, you know, what I say. I don't mind if they they disagree with me, as long, you know, but it's definitely kind of uncanny to see them just saying exactly what I said. Do you prefer reading or writing? Writing positive or negative film criticism. You know, I think I prefer reading negative film criticism, because there's something that's like a lot of like positive film criticism, right? Is the same, and really when something is positive, right? I mean, what can you say if you're a film critic, not if you're like a film, not if you're like analyzing it, right? Because if you're analyzing it, it's different, you know. Each film is different in that regard. But negative film criticisms are always, you know, are always different, because a film will be, in its own way, terrible. And sometimes the negative film criticism can be more entertaining than the actual movie. And I think that that's why this whole like negative film criticism is popular on YouTube. That you're sort of making jokes at the movie's expense, and you're going, why is this happening? And then they do this because movie. And then they do this because movie. You know, I mean, it's lowbrow stuff. I don't particularly find it funny, but I can see why people enjoy it. But that being said, I prefer, because I mean, like a positive review at the end of the day is just going to be like, positive review at the end of the day is just going to be like, go see this movie. Like, this is fantastic, right? This is good. Go see the movie. A negative review will be digging deeper into it as far as like reviews go. But I don't, whether or not it's positive or it's negative, I don't actually spend that much time reading or listening or anything to movie reviews. In fact, I don't really read any movie reviews at all, or listen to them at all, unless I said, like, I'm not interested in watching the movie. Like, there's something to it. Like, if I'm just not interested in the movie, I'll read some reviews of it. But if I'm interested in the movie in any way and I want to watch it, I'm not going to I'm not going to read any reviews, positive or negative, because I want to go into the movie blind. Now, that being said, if a movie gets spoiled for me, it's not going to spoil the film for me, because there's a lot more to take out of a movie than just the story. And with a lot of movies, the stories are fairly predictable. And, you know, usually with films, I can see where it's going, and getting a plot point spoiled isn't going to ruin the experience. Yeah, but let me see. Is Armond White legit, or is he just a contrarian? You know, I think it depends on the movie. He's legit in a lot of cases. Like, I like Armond White. He's legit in a lot of his criticisms, but he's also a contrarian. You know, and I think that that's part of the appeal. is that you don't know if he's trolling or if he's not. You got any film critic recommendations for stuff you like to read? I actually like to read stuff that filmmakers write. So I read Tarkovsky's Sculpting in Time, which was really fun. And I read like Bresson and Bresson and Bresson's notes on the cinematograph. I read, now this is a critic, the notes on on Italian Neorealism by Andre Bazin. That's that's a good one too. I like to read stuff that directors, writers and stuff write. Just because in my experience, a lot of film critics love to act like they know so much about film when they don't. And there's this disconnect between movies and film critics, right? So there's this disconnect where they're looking at movies many times when I'm like reading what a film critic is writing, I feel like they're not looking at them right. That you have a whole different perspective on movies when you make movies. When you're a filmmaker, you have a different way of looking at these, and you have different things that you cherish, different things that you like in movies. Most movies are so predictable if you understand mainstream pacing. Don't care about spoilers, and I already know what will happen. Yeah, that's the thing with like the mainstream movies. You know that at the end of Act 2, like the hero is going to be down and out, and Act 3 is going to be about, kind of rising from the ashes, whatever, to defeat the bad guy at the end of Act 3, or get the girl, or do whatever. That it's kind of like watching a Family Guy episode, right? A lot of these mainstream movies, Marvel films and stuff like that, it's like watching Family Guy. That that the status quo essentially is going to be retained by the end. That a lot of these stories are about the status quo being, some villain antagonist coming in and disturbing the status quo, and the hero restores it. And that's essentially what happens in a lot of the Marvel films. What genre is the most worthless? I nominate rom-com. I like some rom-coms though. That's the thing. It's like I liked Annie Hall. Some of the Woody Allen movies are rom-coms. Maybe you could say Before Sunrise is a rom-com. Like, I don't like to think of things in terms of genre. Now, I don't like superhero movies. I guess that's a genre, I guess it's a genre. I tend not to care for superhero movies. But a lot of the rom-coms are just kind of like, those movies especially are very formulaic, but they're a lot like superhero movies in that regard. They're just superhero movies for women. The rom-coms you can see everything happening from the very beginning. Actually, so this is funny. My ex-girlfriend, and yes, my ex-girlfriend, because I'm not an incel. I know that that's a shock to some of you guys, but yeah, I'm not an incel. I haven't been an incel. We had a movie night, so I guess I was 18 or 19. And she wanted to show, it was over at my house, right? And my family was there, and she wanted to show my family this movie called What Happens in Vegas. And I go, oh my God. I said, and I said, oh my God. I said, I just spelled out the entirety of the film's plot. I spelled out the entirety of the film's plot, and I hadn't seen the movie. I literally had only seen the cover of the film. And I said, okay, so they're going to get married by accident, and they're going to be like, what? And, I said, and then they're not going to get along. I said, but then they're going to realize that they actually love each other. And then she got super pissed off, and she was like, don't spoil the movie for everyone. I'm like, I haven't seen the movie. I'm looking at the cover of the film right now, and I'm telling you, this is the entire plot of the film. She was so pissed off at me. But I was right. I mean, I was right about the plot of the film. I know, but see, that's the thing is, man, right? The woman gets mad at you. You can't just go, but I was right. It's like, of course we were right, right? I'm guessing most of us here are guys. Of course we were right. You can't say that to a woman, though. They hate it. It's like the worst thing. Actually, no, there's one thing worse than saying, I was right. Like, after a fight, is telling the woman to calm down. You do not want to tell a woman to calm down. Unless you're trolling her, like when I was trolling Creepshow Art a few months ago. And she blocked me after I told her to calm down. On Among Us. Cringe game. Among Us is so cringe. It was like one of those games that was like fun for a little bit because, like when it first dropped and it was like free. But it's so cringe. I stopped playing it. I think I've only played it 2 or 3 times. So cringe. You need to relax. I am right. You are wrong. Calm down, girl. Exactly. The Westerns seem more like American mythology. Yeah, that's true. I think of Westerns as being almost like the genesis of like American cinema, where it's the myth of like it's like the American creation myth. It's about taming the untamed. It's about this new world and settling in this new world. It feels like the Old Testament to America. Among Us is just bootleg Space Station 13. Yeah, the problem with Space Station 13 is that the server sucked, and it's never going to get as big as Among Us because it would just crash. It would just totally be decimated. Space Station 13. Let's see if maybe I can get some people in here to talk now, because I need somebody at here. VC, I'm streaming. Let's see, we got Night Docs. Oh, I have been followed recently by Nexpo and Barely Sociable, and I'm feeling kind of famous because of it. Hi, I'm Barely Sociable. Have a good night. Barely Sociable. Let's talk about this Redditor's dark nightmare. So back in 2016, this account, now defunct, posted this on Reddit. I killed a man. Redditor's dark. No, I like that. Yo, what's up? Wait 1 second here. I got to put my headphones in so that people aren't getting what's up, Oki?
Yo.
I've been streaming here for about an hour.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah. Just
damn.
I know. Now my voice is... I don't know how Eggy does this, dude. Right now I'm just been sort of teasing Barely Sociable by just I don't know. We just do some weird shit.
Oh yeah. So there's multiple implications to what you just said there. What do you mean weird shit? What are you teasing him with?
No.
I hope.
Yeah. No. So what I mean is that this week I've been having COVID brain rot.
Oh,
And
yeah.
For the last 5 minutes, I've been, hi, I'm barely sociable. Have a good night.
Yeah. That dude has had COVID his whole life. He's had the repercussions of COVID. Yeah.
Hi, we're going to look at this Redditor, Anime Pussy 69.
Jeez, yeah. Yeah, he does have a good voice. He has that gravelly voice, and then it like goes with his like it like because he does investigation stuff. So like it works for him. Like it's like he's like,
Yeah.
I'm a internet sleuth.
Yeah,
I'm
I
like,
mean, it does work for him. It's that whole like it's that genre. I actually do like that genre though on YouTube. It's like Blame It on Jorge, Nexpo, Barely Sociable.
Yeah. Yeah.
Night Docs, he's in our server. It's similar style.
I would say like he's different in a way where he like Barely Sociable doesn't really cover ARGs very much, and he doesn't cover like spooky shit. Like,
no, he doesn't. And Thomas Chan, that is me. That is me. That twitter.com/the Kino Corner. Or wait, no, I think I'm /the Kino Corner, not /Kino Corner. Let me see. Yeah, I'm /the Kino Corner. So whoever you looked up is not me.
How are you doing with your COVID symptoms, by the way? Is it
I'm fine
dissipating?
now. Yeah, I'm fine now.
You're fine?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Kino
That's
Corner.
good.
Yeah, so I'm back at basically 100% right now. Jeffrey Quino. Yeah, that is not me. Oh yeah, Kino, like he hasn't tweeted since 2011. Kino Corner. Yeah.
Oh, some other guy has that?
Yeah,
oh, damn.
That's why I am the Kino Corner. There's also a YouTube channel called Kino Corner.
I remember you sent it to me one time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or on our group chat.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you guys want to watch a video by Kino Corner? I don't know if they would like take down our. I'm very sort of iffy about showing stuff on stream, showing videos on stream. But let me see.
I remember they were. You sent me a video where they were doing a review of what was that like? There's this movie. It's like it came out recently with a bunch of comedians, and it's like a game.
Game night.
It's like a mystery game.
Yeah.
Game night. Yeah.
Game night. Yeah.
Which is an okay movie. Yeah. And like I was like, and that's what they pretty much said. I was like, you know what, these guys, you know what?
Oh hey,
that's a decent review.
Guys. I'm the Reddit Keanu Big Chungus wholesome funny number. I have 69 videos on my channel.
LOL. No.
Yeah,
LOL.
That's a Big Chungus Reddit Keanu wholesome meme right there.
I was looking at Reddit today, and I've started to notice recently that people say huzzah a lot. And that's like probably the worst thing that's ever come out of Reddit. And it's so that is Reddit in a nutshell. It's just saying huzzah, actually, in celebration of something else.
No, I can think of something though that's worse. That comes out.
What's that?
That's come out of Reddit is, remember that really cringe thing of does the narwhal bacon?
Yeah.
Yeah, remember that?
Yeah, that was like a long time ago. I remember that, yeah.
Does the narwhal bacon? That, I don't know, that has to be top Reddit cringe. But it just seems like most of what Reddit does to me is just cringe. That's,
you know what it is though? It's the big subs. It's like if you
wait a sec. I can't hear you. I am
I
setting.
logged off of my account, and
Oh,
all I see is a bunch of shit like, oh, look at my pupper, look at how cute my doggo
wait, we're
is,
watching
and all this shit. And it's like, if you
We're watching this.
if you
really
sub to,
fast.
real quick though, if you sub to the right subreddits, you don't see
Wait,
any
I'll
of
pause
them.
it. So, yeah, I mean that's true. That's true. So we're watching this. All right, guys. This is the other Kino corner. I'm just gonna put this right in the center here. This is the other Kino corner, and they do these like, well, they hardly ever post, you know, but there's a running joke in my Discord server that like this is like the real Kino corner, that like everything I do is just the fake stuff. But it's just these two guys that I don't know, they give like the most superficial movie reviews, but I think all 23 views of these are from me. There's something I like about it.
This movie was great. I highly recommend it.
This movie sucked. I mean, any kind of form of logic when it came to the supernatural and like the.
So
Did you just die of COVID? Oh, you cut out, I guess.
Oh yeah, no, I've been. So you see this kid right here. They're talking about.
Wait,
They're talking about Winchester.
Can you screen share?
Oh God, I don't know. I don't know how to do that on Discord.
Fuck it.
Let me see. Wait a second here.
I don't think I can listen to this on
Let me,
stream without giving you feedback.
Share your screen. Let me go.
Share my screen?
No, oh, no. I'm. Okay. Can you see
All
it
right, sick. Yeah.
now? All right. So they're talking about Winchester. Remember that terrible horror movie?
Barely. I think
This movie was great. I highly recommend it.
This movie sucked.
I want to punch him in the face.
Any kind of form of logic when it came to the supernatural and like the ghostly world and everything like
But
that.
see,
was
they
just blown
don't-
out the window.
They don't script these, obviously. That was semi-scripted. I think him saying like this movie was awesome and then having it go, this movie sucked. I think that was semi-scripted. But you'll see that when they're reviewing the movies, this is like off the cuff, like they literally just walked out of it.
I mean, for the love
Yeah.
of God, if you're gonna have someone who is possessed by a ghost,
Yo, I know,
why not
Box,
call
what
an
up?
exorcist?
How are ya?
Also,
Good, man.
Oh hey, wait, who's in?
I'll
Oh,
be honest. I clicked on the button and didn't realize that I was going to be in on the call. Sorry about that, guys.
No,
Yeah,
no.
no worries.
Yeah, stick around, man.
so this is
I'll be right.
if you want to find
What's that?
movies that have PlayStation 4 style graphics, go home and play on your Sony. Please, thank you. Don't watch this movie.
Oh, why do you?
that's it. That's the review. If you want to watch a movie with PlayStation 4 style graphics, then go play on your Sony. Which I don't know. It's kind of a weird thing to like go play on your Sony. But yeah, so they do reviews.
Your Sony what?
I guess he's talking about PlayStation 3. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's it's.
I mean,
I don't know.
wouldn't-
I
I
kind
wouldn't
of
even
like,
put that above most YouTube film reviewers, though.
but
Like,
yeah, that is the
the
thing.
caliber. Yeah, it's just.
Yeah, like it's essentially what Chris Stuckman or what Doug Walker
Yeah.
does. Because Doug Walker, I see he posts a lot of these videos where he's like sitting in his car, like I just watched, where he's like, I just watched Wonder Woman. I'm gonna sit. I hate this style. Like, at least they're outside. I hate it when it's like they're sitting in their car with some other random person reviewing the movie. They're like, we're sitting in my car outside the movie theater. We're gonna talk about this for 20 minutes and have terrible audio, and it's just rambling about a film. It's not scripted or anything like that. I feel like it's wasting my time.
There is another guy who used to be on That Guy with the Glasses who pretty much that's like his whole shtick now on YouTube.
Is that the cinema
He just
snob?
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that's
think
him.
so.
Yeah, that's what he does now.
That's another
And
person
I
I'm gonna
mean,
fight. Cinema snob.
dude, you should yeah, just try and fight all of them. Speaking of Chris Stuckman, here's something that might be funny for the stream is to go through his list because he put out a book of like the 50 his 50 favorite movies,
Really?
and it's all like IMDb tier shit. Like, and
Of
he
course.
sold this shit. He sold it. It might be funny to like go through the list.
Stuckman, 50 favorite movies. I'm looking it up right now. Film buff's bucket list.
Yeah.
Okay.
Doesn't
Alright.
that make you want to shoot yourself?
I'm just sort of scrolling through it right now. This is like pretty Reddit tier.
It's really basic shit.
Yeah. Like
Let me look this shit up too.
I'm
there's-
gonna stream it here in a second. I just have to use the bathroom. So
Oh yeah, actually same.
yeah. Wait, can you talk to the audience right now?
Yeah, sure. I'll just piss in a cup right now.
Can you talk to the
All right, you
audience?
go
I'll
and
be
then I
back
guess
in a
I'll
minute.
go.
I'll be back in a minute. Yeah, you
All
go
right.
and then I'll set
All
this
right.
up when I get back.
All right. Okay, what's up, Kino Corner viewers? I don't know what to say. I've watched a couple good movies recently. Let me look through my torrents. What did Baccarat? I don't even know how to say that. Baccarat. And then I watched another movie by the guy who made Baccarat, an earlier movie from 2016 that was called, I have a terrible memory. Baccarat. Let me look this shit up. Baccarat movie. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? There's another movie he made. I spelt it wrong. I'm not really good off the cuff. All right, hold on.
I'm back.
I was gonna tell them about the other movie that this guy made, the Baccarat director, that is good. Aquarius, which is good. But you know what the thing about this guy's movies is that pisses me off is he always ends it before, like once things get good, he just like cuts it off, and that pisses me off. But like it's this really engaging slow burn through both of these movies that I watched, and then at the end, it finally the thing happens. You know, the thing in the third act that's supposed to go on for another 15 minutes, he cuts it off before the fucking 15 minutes happen.
Oh my god.
But they're good movies. I really like them.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna go take a piss real. I'm gonna
All right.
be right back.
How do I manipulate this on how do I manipulate this? Okay, here we go. Of course, I've seen all these films. I looked through it. I've seen everything except something like near the end. But let me check chat. Wait. Pretty Reddit. Dude has a signs tattoo. Yeah, he does. Oh, yeah, Stuckman does. Hey, Oki. Yeah, Oki's pretty cool. Wow, that was fast. Hey, look, I'm a fast pisser. Wow. 70 plus million views? What a brag. I listed my top 20 of the 2000s on Twitter. I bet mine's better. I bet so too. I bet so too.
Are we looking?
Yeah, we're looking at it right now. So,
Oh, really? Is this the top four?
yeah, so it's American Psycho, Memento, Unbreakable, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. Now, I like Memento.
Jesus.
I love American Psycho. And Crouching Tiger,
Oh,
Hidden,
good.
Hidden Dragon is pretty good. I don't see what Unbreakable, like Unbreakable is very Reddit tier as far as
Yeah,
movies
well-
goes.
Yeah, yeah. You know what
It's-
it is? It's all of these movies are from 2000, the year 2000.
like,
This is
that's the problem.
This is Chris Stuckman. He got all these movies at Blockbuster when he was like
Yeah.
13, and he's just stuck with them.
and
And he
this
lives in
is
the middle of nowhere, and he just has those like 4 DVDs.
the film buff's
and that's like-
bucket list. Like, I don't see why this is a bucket list. These are movies that you've seen by the time you're 20. Like, that's the thing. You know?
Yeah.
Ocean's 11. Like, why is Ocean's 11 in there? Watch Bob LaFlambeur. Watch like a Jean-Pierre Melville film if you want to watch something, you know, like that. I mean, Spirited Away is great. I like Donnie Darko, but Richard Kelly, that's his only good movie. Minority Report is not even the best Spielberg movie by any stretch of the imagination. But here's where it's like, this is awful. Signs, X2, Pirates of the Caribbean, The Curse of the Black Pearl, and The Last Samurai.
Yeah, these are just movies he's seen before.
Yeah, exactly. Like, these aren't any films where it's like, you must see these. These are just films, like, if you were alive at that time, you just saw these
Yeah.
films.
Exactly.
I mean, they're not necessarily bad movies, but they're very sort of middle of the pack.
Yeah.
Now, Old Boy and Lord of the Rings: Return of the King is great. You know, Spider-Man 2 is good, but this is the problem with this. You know, it's like, it's the Tom Cruise action movie. He's throwing in Old Boy as like this. He's throwing in Old Boy as like this. I'm gonna have the one Asian film in here. You know.
Yes. Yeah, I have my foreign film here. Look, this is see, this is my off color pick here.
Yeah.
This is
And you know,
Or-
and the thing is too, he has his Cronenberg is a history of violence, right? I haven't seen Kiss Kiss Bang
It's a
Bang,
good-
but
Oh,
he
that's
has-
that's another good one. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, these are all just like movies that like
like
like I
when
said
you
earlier.
when you do Cronenberg,
he saw them before.
What about
it.
Scanners? What about? I mean, Scanners isn't his best.
He's-
But what
he
about
hasn't- he
Videodrome
hasn't seen it.
or The Fly or The Brood or Dead Ringers? Like, Cronenberg has a
He
bunch of
hasn't
really
seen it.
great stuff from the 20th century.
You know what it's like? I noticed this too with like the YMS podcast with Ralph the Movie
Oh
Maker
yeah,
and
Sardonicast.
yeah. So they haven't seen so many movies. It's almost incredible. Like, it's the first time that they're actually seeing it is for the podcast.
Yeah.
So I think that like they started when they were really young reviewing movies. And you know, they all have kind of like baby's first movie takes about things
Yeah.
that they saw when they started, and they never really delved into anything else. And you know, they just don't have the time, I guess, now because they made their careers out of it. I don't know how to explain it, but they're not. None of
Yeah.
them have ever been cinephiles at all,
Yeah. Yeah. It's
or even marginally so. And I wouldn't even consider myself like. Well, I love cinema, but like, I mean, I haven't seen every fucking Melville movie. You know, I haven't seen
well. I mean,
I haven't seen a lot of older movies. You know,
I don't
like so.
I don't necessarily think that that's like that big of a deal. I think that it's about kind of always wanting to expand your taste and being open to new things as far as what films can give you. But it is.
Well, that's the thing. Too sorry, I
I was
cut you
just
off.
to say,
Go
but
on.
it is strange that like they've made these careers and they have millions of subs between them, talking about movies when their own knowledge of films is shallow.
It's so marginal. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what? You know what? Here's the thing too. It's like, what was I gonna say? I was gonna say something kind of prescient there. Let me think about it and try and remember, because I completely forgot what I was gonna say earlier when I was about to cut you off. Can you remind me about like, rejog my
Wait,
memory here.
I wanna read this chat here. Your movie sucks.
All right, do that.
Your movie sucks proves himself to be a mental midget, saying Citizen Kane created narratives in films. If that's true, then that means he hasn't seen anything pre 1941.
That's what I just remembered what I was gonna say. YMS has gone on record saying that older movies are worse because they're not as technically proficient, and every newer movie is just better because of the advancement of technology, right?
That doesn't
And
even make any sense.
it doesn't. It doesn't. He doesn't realize that there's like so many different films that like even from like fucking 1920 that have the same pacing, and also they are so innovative, and they do things that newer movies don't even dare to do because like there's such a financial incentive just to make a straightforward movie. And the risks that people used to take, it was exhilarating. There was just so many things that like was happening when movies were coming into form that if you don't explore that shit, you're missing out on so much,
Yeah, Your Movie Sucks hasn't seen anything before 1980, and he lynched by David Lynch. I don't really know what that means, but yeah, but that's true. It's like I've been watching a lot of silent movies recently because of I'm doing this video, Beginner's Guide to Cinema, and I have a whole bit about silent film in there. Now I've seen plenty of silent films before this, but I watched silent movies when I watched silent movies when I was in school because we had to watch it. But recently I've actually kind of picked up liking to watch silent movies because they're kind of relaxing to me to watch them, especially like on a Saturday morning, like putting on a silent film. And so I've been watching these like Charlie Chaplin movies and these Buster Keaton movies, Harold Lloyd films.
Yeah, Buster Keaton's great.
And it's like, man, the stuff that he was doing, the stuff Buster Keaton was doing
they were
amazing.
true thespians. Like they were like entertainment savants.
Yeah.
And you had to be back then. Like it's kind of similar to, it's so funny because like you look at the way that Koreans like they train their K-pop stars and movie stars like crazy, and they have these houses, and these actresses and singers in Korea have no autonomy whatsoever. It was kind of like that before, where
it
it's
was
like
kind of like that
in the studio system where you had to know how to sing, you had to know how to dance, you had to have the fucking elasticity in your muscles of a ballet dancer, even if you were a man. You had to have like the whole gamut. You had to be a fucking like natural entertainer.
Yeah, you did. And it took a lot to be a silent film star. And Buster Keaton, Charlie Chaplin, Harold Lloyd, they were all doing their own stunts too. Like that's kind of the crazy thing. And they had so many cool tricks that they used, special effects stuff. A lot of stuff still holds up 100 years later. Still holds up.
Yeah.
The stunts do. It's kind of amazing. And if you want to like talk about narrative films that were great back in the 30s. Now there were plenty of great narrative films in the 20s. You had Sunrise, you had Metropolis.
Sunrise is great. Yeah. Metropolis.
Yeah,
I love Fritz Lang. I've seen so many Fritz Lang movies.
Yeah. And of course, like even the Charlie Chaplin stuff. I mean, his stuff was looser when it came to narrative, but there still was narrative in his. There still was a narrative in all of his films. Same with Buster Keaton. There still was a narrative in all of his films. D.W. Griffith, his films were all narratives. Like, and then when you get into the 30s, there was great stuff. There was Make Way for Tomorrow. That was really great. You have It Happened One Night. You have Capra becoming a star director in the 30s. You had Lubitsch becoming a star director in the 30s. There was a lot of great stuff. You had The Blue Angel with Marlene Dietrich in 1930, and you had Scarface, the Howard Hughes film.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot of good stuff, before like.
Before the Hays Code too. Like
Yeah.
there was like, the things that they could get away with.
Now, I'm not going to talk about the Hays Code because, as you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
as you
All right.
know, I have a big bit on the Hays Code. It's an interesting thing. But let's keep going through. Cachet. Okay, so he's got one. Hanukkah.
Cachet is a great movie.
Yeah.
I really like that.
Casino Royale. That's pretty good, but I don't know if I'd put any James Bond film on like the film buff. Departed is good. The Bourne Ultimatum is good. Like,
I like the first. I watched all of the Bourne movies just like last week again, and I like the first one the most.
really, that one is directed by Doug Liman and not Paul Greengrass. Greengrass came on.
Doug Liman's a weird director, huh?
Yeah, I don't even know if he directs his own stuff, to be honest.
Why do you say that?
Well, so I watched the behind the scenes of Edge of Tomorrow, and I watched the whole behind the scenes like B-roll and stuff of it, and it really seemed like it was his assistant director that he works with quite frequently that was calling the shots, rather than Doug Liman did not even seem that interested in the film, if I'm going to be honest.
He's very strange to me as a director because he's almost like he's had a very long career, but he still remains very, very amateur in the way that he makes his films. But there was a very amateur charm to his earlier movies, like Swingers and Go as well.
I haven't seen Go.
Go is I haven't seen it in a very long time. I think the last time I saw it, I was like a teenager. But I remember it being really good.
Mm-hmm.
I guess the Bourne Supremacy, the first Bourne movie, does not feel like a Doug Liman movie. But something that does is American Made, a movie released in 2017, where, it's about like a CIA pilot, like he's funded by the CIA to sell drugs to the Contras, right? And it all has to do with like the Iran Contra scandal, right? But like there's just so many weird amateurish off the wall directing decisions that I kind of appreciate it. It feels like it's weird because he's this like mainstream Hollywood director, and then you watch a Tom Cruise movie and you're watching it and it feels like some kind of random ass like foreign cheaply made movie from like 1980. it has that same sort of charm. You watch those movies and then it's like, and you see the way that they do things, and it's like, wow, that's terrible, but there's a charm to it. But he's making like mainstream movies while doing that. And he's been doing it for a long time, and he doesn't seem to learn how to, get better. Yeah. But it's so weird that this guy has so many like movies attached to his name that he, directed.
Yeah.
That are, movies that people still talk about and care about. Swingers.
Thomas Chan says 80s Jackie Chan is the closest thing to a modern Buster Keaton or Charlie Chaplin. I agree with that.
Yeah, he does all of his own stunts, and it's comedic.
So let's go through. So the next line is very strange. So you got Zodiac, There Will Be Blood, No Country for Old Men. All three great. I think that Zodiac.
Yeah.
And then Trick or Treat right next to that, which I like.
Man, I watched that once and I don't remember anything about it.
The thing about Trick or Treat, I like Trick or Treat, but it's more of a movie that I put on Halloween because it's just like a very kind of like Halloween type movie. As far as is it a great film? No, it's like
it's extremely conventional.
It's just a very Halloween feeling movie, but all the stories are pretty standard. It's all very standard. It's very sort of comfort food kind of movie. It's very sort of like fast, like it's well made. It's good for having play in the background on Halloween, and It's a movie that you can sort of like dip in and watch a few minutes of, and then kind of dip out, do something else. You know what I mean?
Cool.
It's
Can we talk about real quick here how he put a Zodiac, There Will Be Blood, and No Country for Old Men under Spider-Man 2, The Incredibles,
so I
The
think
Last Samurai.
well
Signs.
no okay, so I think this is all in chronological order.
If it's in chronological order, then yeah, he put them under
It
all these
literally,
movies, right?
if it's in chronological order, it literally means he started at the year 2000. It is in chronological order, so it's
Oh, you mean by date?
by date, yeah.
Oh, I thought you meant chronological.
So his
went
50,
like for his ratings.
no, like when they came out. So the oldest film on here is American Psycho.
Oh my god! Oh,
Oh
That is-
my god!
that hurts me, dude.
Yeah, the oldest film on here is American Psycho.
That hurts me so much.
All right, let's move on. Let's get through this.
I fucking hate this guy.
The Dark Knight, Reddit, Coraline, which is pretty good. I like Coraline. I like Coraline a lot. In fact, I think it's Leica's best film. 500 Days
There's-
of Summer. No.
That's an
No.
okay movie.
Okay, no.
It's all right.
I don't like 500 Days of Summer. I mean, it's essentially.
Why?
A
Wait, why
millennial-
don't you like it?
Well, it's
All right,
okay. So it's essentially a millennial remake of Annie Hall. It's very similar to Annie Hall in a lot of aspects, like the whole way it's told.
Yeah,
everything
you're
like
right
that.
about that,
It's
actually.
basically a millennial remake of Annie Hall, but Woody Allen is a lot funnier than Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and I liked Diane Keaton better than Zooey Deschanel.
Yeah.
And Woody Allen is more inventive as a director. You know, I know a lot of people say a lot of stuff about not liking Woody Allen, but come on, Annie Hall is genuinely a great film. It's a very inventive movie. It has a lot of cool stuff in it. And 500 Days of Summer leaves you on the most sour of notes because the girl that he finds after summer is named Autumn.
Yeah. So it's gonna start again.
And
He's just gonna find for her again. Yeah. You know what, dude? I actually, for some reason, I never even connected those two movies. But yeah, you're totally right. It's pretty much. It's like, yeah,
yeah, and at the end,
note for note, it's the same. It's the same movie.
yeah, it is. And the thing is that at the end, him meeting Autumn just made me want to punch the screen. I was just like, no, this is too on the nose. But anyways, it's a movie I watched. It's not a movie I necessarily hated, but it's a movie where I kind of saw everything it was doing, and I didn't understand the hype behind it, except that the people who loved 500 Days of Summer hadn't seen Annie Hall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember watching that when I was like fucking. I watched it for the first time when I was a teenager. I watched it when
Yeah.
I was like 15 and thought it was amazing.
It's a teenager's movie. It's a movie that
And-
I can see loving when you're like 15, and then when you get a little bit older, you're just like, huh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, I liked it back then. I still like it, actually. I think it's a good movie, even if it's like, even if it's copy and paste Annie Hall, which I can kind of see now that you mentioned it. I still like it. I remember, a girl dumped me when I was like 23, which was years ago. So like I'm 29 now, right?
Yeah.
And I watched 500 Days of Summer, and I had such a vitriolic reaction to it that I couldn't continue to watch it. And I rewatched it like a day after I got dumped.
Mm-hmm.
And it fucked with my mind. It would be interesting to see if I ever go through that situation again, if I go to Annie Hall. But yeah, Annie Hall, 500 Days of Summer. I can see the similarities. So you say that, but then Kino Corner, you will excuse what the fuck is that Safdie's brother movie?
Good Time.
Good Time, and its similarities to Bad Lieutenant, the 1992 Harvey
You mean
Keitel movie.
Uncut Gems. I'd have to rewatch Bad Lieutenant. It's been a while since I've seen it.
Dude, it's the same fucking movie.
All right. Well, I'll rewatch it and I'll get back to you about that.
You got to do it. You got to do it.
So let's do the next one because I kind of want to tie up the stream here in like 15 minutes because I haven't eaten all day. I took a bite out of my sandwich and I'm feeling a little bit woozy. Inglourious Bastards. Again, it's not a bad movie. It's not Tarantino's best, but it's a pretty Reddit tier thing to put in like the 50 movies you have to see. So then we go.
Is that the first Tarantino movie he put there too? Like Inglourious Bastards?
Yeah, he didn't put Kill Bill Volume 2. Which Kill Bill Volume 2 I think is better, honestly.
I mean, like, Kill Bill, is that your favorite Tarantino movie? Is Kill Bill Volume 2?
My favorite Tarantino, I'd say it's a toss-up between Kill Bill Volume 2 and Pulp Fiction. You know, I mean, Pulp Fiction has just got... Pulp Fiction is one of those movies where you can kind of don't have to watch the whole thing. That, you know,
That's a really interesting pick, though, Kill Bill Volume 2 being, like, one of your favorite Tarantino movies.
Yeah, well, it's the most kind of like a Western samurai stuff, which I like the aesthetic of it. And it's... Kill Bill Volume 1 didn't really do it for me because it was all just sort of action. But Volume 2, I thought, was a lot better paced. And I think it's one of the better paced Tarantino films. You know?
Okay.
Yeah. That's really what it comes down to for me. But so let's go next. Next line is Inception. Oh my god.
Hey guys.
Oh hey.
Yo.
What's up?
Yeah.
Oh,
what
no.
happened
Oh.
earlier?
Oh, I accidentally clicked on it, and I didn't realize that it automatically would send me live, and I was about to go and do something, and now I finished what I was doing.
Oh,
Okay,
sick. All right.
So we're just talking
What up,
about
Anomaly Docs?
we're just talking about
We're
Chris Stuckman's Reddit tier list. So now we got Inception, Toy Story 3, Drive, and Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol. The only one I would keep here is Drive. Toy Story 3 is like the...
Can I?
That's
Wait,
like
no, go on.
That's like, other than Toy Story 4, it's like the weakest Toy Story. Obviously, best Toy Story is Toy Story 2, but he didn't have that in here, but he had Toy Story 3 in here.
Can I say something real quick? I hate all Mission Impossible movies. I think they're fucking garbage.
See,
I don't like Tom Cruise.
I like Mission Impossible. I like the Mission Impossible movies, but at the same time, it's popcorn stuff. I mean, I think it's pretty well made for the kind of films that they are, but here's the thing. When you make a list like this, like the top 50 movie a film buff has to see, there's a certain weight to it. Exactly. And it just seems like he's just picking the movies that he liked from each year in the 2000s, in the 21st century. It's, you know, like, oh yeah, I remember this movie. I remember that movie. And it's all like this very mainstream stuff. Like we go the next year, Avengers.
I don't like the Avengers. Like the first one, I thought it was kind of boring, very gray.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of the like Marvel movies all kind of look the same. They all like, I heard someone say they all look like a parking lot. And it's true.
Yeah. Fuck.
Yeah.
Wait, did you see?
Even, like-
Have you ever seen that screenshot of them at that airport and all the Avengers are running towards
Yeah,
each
it's
other
so boring
against the
looking.
baddies or whatever? I haven't seen any of those movies. I think I saw the first one, and then I tried to see the last one, and I was like, "There's a fat Thor, and there's like
Yeah.
a Supergirl or some shit,"
Yeah.
and I was like, "I don't even know what the fuck's happening." It was something with like a purple guy, and he wanted to destroy the universe, and I was like, "This is fucking gay."
Look, okay, so I want to point out something.
Yeah.
So now we're at the end. So we're at the end of page 1 here. So it's Avengers, Snowpiercer, which Snowpiercer was pretty good. That's Bong Joon-ho. Prisoners is actually my second favorite Denis Villeneuve film. And then
That is my favorite of his, actually.
I'd say my favorite
Prisoner.
is Sicario, but Prisoners is a very close second.
I think that Sicario is like a solid like 7 out of 10.
But
I haven't seen it. I should probably watch it.
it's good. I really like it. But Snowpiercer's pretty good. It's a fun movie. Enemy is kind of like, I don't know.
That's a good one.
It's good, but so he has Enemy here, but he doesn't have Mulholland Drive or Inland Empire.
No, but Enemy is that's another Denis Villeneuve.
Yeah,
movie,
it's
not
Denis
a
Villeneuve,
David
but
Lynch.
it's kind of Denis Villeneuve doing that kind of David Lynch type of surrealism.
That
you
is
know?
true. I don't think he's seen Mulholland Drive.
It also
So, like-
Enemy kind of reminds me a little bit of La Double Vie de Véronique, The Double Life of Veronique. It has a similar vibe to that, which is Kieślowski, but I doubt that Suckman has seen anything by Kieślowski. But yeah,
It's also like picking Snowpiercer over like any other Bong Joon-ho movie. Like, dude,
Yeah,
if
he
you
might-
just
I wonder-
watch like Memories of Murder or watch Mother,
yeah,
and like
exactly.
those are just like so much better than Snowpiercer.
Did you ever see
It's
that
like,
movie Mother that came out a few years ago by Darren Aronofsky?
I actually did not see.
oh,
that
the one with Jennifer Lawrence.
Yeah, the one he made when he was banging her.
Yeah.
Was he banging her?
And then it flopped, and then they broke up.
Whereas
Yeah,
Yee,
that
yeah,
seems to happen. a lot.
guys, don't expect Yee to be in here. Yeah, Dogville, Dancer in the Dark, Mulholland Drive. Yeah, don't expect any of those. to be in
Yee is
there.
a great movie.
I know, but
I love Yee.
don't expect that to be in here. I love Edward Yang. I think he's great, but don't expect Chris Stuckman to put him on a list. I just say it's I don't know.
Not from Stockman.
Yeah, not from Stuckman. You guys are giving him way too much credit. So then we go Under the Skin, Captain America: The Winter Soldier, Edge of Tomorrow, and The Babadook. Look, I'm gonna come out here and say
Under the Skin is his edgy take.
yeah,
I like the Captain America one. I think that's the last Marvel movie I saw, and I remember, okay, this is pretty good. And then the Civil War one came out, and I remember the Winter Soldier. It left on like a cliffhanger that I was kind of excited to follow up on. But then, I guess a couple of Marvel movies happened in between there. So like Captain America 3 didn't really follow up on 2. So I was just like, what the fuck? Why do they even call them like by the superheroes' names at this point? Why don't they just all call them Avengers movies?
yeah.
Dude, even the way you're explaining it now and like describing it, it just sounds like a fucking assembly line. It sounds like a theme park ride.
Well,
So you got the 2 and then the 3 and then the 1 and then the 4 and it's like
well,
I don't
here's the thing.
want anything to do with these things.
I don't care with the good old fashioned movie theater serial like you'd see in like the 30s, because that's what these are. But don't like people fucking pretend like these are high art, and
Yeah.
they're just
Oh,
like,
yeah.
basically
But
they're
they're
toy
not.
commercials, man.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, they are. They're selling you stuff.
I mean,
Now-
fucking Pokemon games have more artistic creativity in them, and they're literally fucking basically they're vehicles for merchandising.
Yeah, yeah.
Same
that's-
shit.
I don't know
At
if you
least
saw
they
that.
fucking put some effort into it.
I don't know if you saw that Knowledge Hub video about Pokemon and how he's like kind of breaks down how Pokemon makes
Oh,
almost
that guy's good.
all of its money from merchandise. Like
Oh, absolutely.
20% of its only like 20% of its income is from games. Like the other
I tell this to
80%
people.
is from
I
merch.
explain to people when people are like, "Oh, well, why don't they just like they should just delay the game so they can have a better game, or they just don't release one this year so they can make a better one." I'm like, that's not how it fucking works. Do you know how many people's jobs depend on these fucking games getting pushed out every year?
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing that these creators haven't gone insane, because the games still have like a lot of fucking imagination to them, despite what people bitch about. Like, they're at their peak, I'd say, in terms of character design, but like the fact that they're able to get those out every year, it's like nothing short of a miracle that they don't like somebody doesn't come into the office and just shoot everybody out of insanity. Because like I don't know how they do it. They only have 35 people working at the company that makes the Pokemon games, which is
wow.
incredible.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's a very
the
small.
biggest media franchise on the face of the planet, in the face of history, is basically helmed by 35 people calling the shots.
Wow, I didn't know it was just 35, but yeah, I liked.
Game Freak is technically what's still considered an indie game studio.
Huh.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's interesting.
but I digress.
But yeah, so let's see, Captain America. I mean, The Winter Soldier was okay, like,
Yeah.
but it's like a '90s action flick, and as you said, it's like,
Yeah.
it's kind of like they're just like these 30 serials or whatever. Treat them like
Yeah.
that. Treat them like that. Like, it's
It
not
is one of the
literally
good ones.
it's literally a Robert Redford movie from 1990.
yeah, it's
Like,
like,
and he's even in that.
yeah,
And
exactly.
he's even in the movie.
And it's like
It's just a thriller. Like,
it's
yeah.
okay to enjoy it. I'm not saying don't, like, I enjoyed watching it, but there's really nothing to be gleaned from it other than 2 hours of your time that I guess were
Well, these
entertained.
movies, they're basically at the point where they're like in the later seasons of Star Trek Voyager when the writers were running out of ideas. So like maybe out of like 10 of them, you get one that's actually good, and the rest are just kind of either like worse than bad. They're just bland and boring.
Yeah,
Safe.
yeah, exactly. And so then you got Edge of Tomorrow next to it, which I mean I enjoyed Edge of Tomorrow, but again it's
Why would you ever put that in a top 50 list
but
of
that's,
movies?
see, that's the problem.
That is like
so
the
this,
most ridiculous thing ever. That Citizen Kane hasn't even appeared,
yeah,
and there's fucking Edge of Tomorrow.
and Captain America,
Like,
the
what
Winter
the
Soldier.
fuck is even going on?
See, but
And
see,
Stuckman's dead. And why does anybody ever take that guy seriously?
like that's the thing.
That is
It's-
like a fucking joke.
if it was like the 50 blockbuster movies from the 21st century that he liked.
Yeah,
I would
that
be
was
like,
that, yeah.
I'd
It would be
fine.
okay.
I'd be like, okay, yeah, great. This is a good blockbuster film that came out that year. Like, makes sense. I would have no complaints. But this is like the 50 movies a film buff's bucket list. This is a
This
film
is like-
buff's bucket list, and it's
This
like,
is like if he chose like the Will Smith iRobot over Fritz Lang's Metropolis because
Yeah.
he said it was better.
yeah, exactly. And see, that's
Yeah,
the thing.
exactly.
So
Yeah.
when I think of bucket list, it's like something that you have to do before you die, and something that's going to be maybe a little bit harder to do. So so if it's a bucket list, right? It should be a film that maybe you won't be able to watch more than once, or maybe it's a little bit harder to find, or maybe it's more obscure or something like that. Like, this is the
Yeah.
bucket list. It's not necessarily like the 50 films you need to watch to get into film, like that's
Or
like,
even at the very least, like a movie that's gonna like at least leave you with something, like you take away something from it, like Ikaru, the Kurosawa movie. Like
Yeah.
that's a movie I saw like 12 years ago once, back when I didn't really care about foreign cinema, and I still remember like scenes of it
Yeah.
more
I-
than any movie I saw last year.
That is an indicator of the best movies and
Yeah.
best stories in general. Is you remember them years later.
I have Ikaru on. I just bought that on Criterion Blu-ray, but I watched that 10 years ago, and I still can see several of the scenes in my head. Like, it is one
Yeah.
of those films.
Like the scene where he's on the swing set,
Yeah.
or like where all
Or-
the business people are drinking after he's dead. I remember those like
Yeah,
fucking crystal clear.
yeah, exactly. I mean, that's a great movie.
Meanwhile, I couldn't tell you what happened last year in the Rise of Skywalker because I got dragged to that.
oh
there's
yeah,
just a lot
well,
of
we're getting to that.
Noise.
So he's got the Babadook, which I didn't actually care for. I know a lot of people loved it. I wasn't big. I wasn't big on the Babadook.
Neither was I. You know?
Yeah,
I didn't like it either.
I thought it was just kind of, I thought it was very average.
Oh, it has such a feminist take. Dude, her child goes against her, and
Yeah.
Ooh.
So then we got Birdman, Whiplash, When Marnie Was There, and Mad Max Fury Road.
wow, you watched a
Okay.
bunch of movies in 2014 that were
Yeah.
nominated for Oscars. Congratulations.
Yeah. I mean, they're like,
That's fine, I guess.
they're not bad movies. But then the last two here is Creed and Star Wars The Force Awakens.
Oh my fucking god.
Did he at least add because clearly
those
it's
are
just
the
like
last
based
two.
off of movies that he's watched in the past 20 years? Did he at least add Nightcrawler to that list?
No, Nightcrawler's not there.
What a
Jesus
fucking hack!
Christ. What about Shin Godzilla? Is that even
Night
there?
Dogs, what up?
Well, no. Don't expect Shin Godzilla to be there. Yo, what's up, Night Dogs?
Oh my god.
We're just
See,
complaining
Night
about
Dogs.
Chris Stuckman.
how's Jim Pagel doing tonight?
Jim Pagel's doing all right. I got
Good.
my little girls here. They're just making a bunch of messes, and
Uh-oh.
Just
Do we
step
have to
outside
watch
and,
our potty mouth?
yeah, no, I'm gonna step outside so I can curse. So hold on, a
Nice,
second.
nice,
I gotta
dude.
mute for just a second.
AJ Jr.
Yo.
says AJ Jr. says film buff is just normie speak for a person that likes to casually watch movies on weekends.
Yeah, Jesus,
Yeah.
no kidding, eh?
I've been catching up on a bunch of them lately, actually.
Oh yeah.
What it's called? It's just movie geek. Really, it's not. Stuckman
See.
isn't like I wouldn't even call him a movie geek. He's not a movie buff, and he's not a movie.
He's a
geek.
normie.
Like,
I would call him a
He's just a
normie.
fucking
has,
normie.
Like, more
Yeah.
thought out opinions on this
I will,
guy.
I will battle.
Just
I will
finished,
box Chris Stuckman.
I want to fuck that guy up, dude.
Oh no, man!
I
wanna
wanna
hang out
beat
with
the
Chris
shit
Stuckman
out
so
of him.
bad, dude.
Sounds like a
Oh,
goofball.
dude, I'm gonna beat
I
the
feel like
shit
Chris
out of him.
Stuckman and I would get along real well.
I will.
Why?
Plus he's from Ohio, which is like my stomping ground. So you know.
I will.
I thought you were a Texas
I want to
boy.
beat him up, dude.
Wait. So
man.
Night Dogs, you say you're in Ohio. That's where Chris Stuckman is. Could you go to his house and tell him that I will box him in the ring?
I
Kino,
grew up in
box-
Ohio. I live in Houston though.
Oh, okay. Oh,
That's what I
you're a
got,
lot
yeah.
closer. You're a lot closer to me then.
He's in Hank Hill territory.
Nah. Well, Houston is more like I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a big city. It's just
Houston's more of a mix. There's some of those out here. There's you got all walks.
I'm on the Gulf
It's-
Coast as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I've always said I might not agree with him on everything, but I wouldn't mind if Hank Hill was my neighbor because at least he'd be respectful, and I wouldn't have to look at an ugly lawn. I've become so fucking like this.
Ian Frankenberry says multiplex connoisseur TM. Yeah.
Hey, did this guy at
He
least, like,
really
if he's gonna
is,
do,
yeah.
if this guy's gonna do all 2000s movies, did he at least have the good sense to put Black Dynamite on there?
No,
No,
didn't.
he would never have seen that movie.
Can we talk about really
He's in
terrible movies?
buttfuck nowhere, Ohio. He doesn't have like limited release movies, so he can't see Black Dynamite.
Look,
and
he
doesn't
didn't even
warrant
put-
or, like,
He didn't even put Boyhood or The Grand Budapest Hotel or Moonrise Kingdom.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the best.
yeah.
Moonrise
Come
Kingdom
on.
was good.
Come on.
He probably- here's Stuckman's
filmmaker
thoughts.
in me. The OCD filmmaker in me loves movies like The Grand Budapest, where everything is just so perfectly symmetrical
So
and
precise.
so calculated. So it's just so much
Mathematical.
precision. Yeah,
I gotta say that's one thing I like about Wes Anderson is that even though like sometimes I think he can be a little bit, I don't know, a little too whimsical for my taste, but I always respect the precision and the aesthetic of everything. Like Moonrise Kingdom is one of my favorite looking movies because there's a whole world behind that movie.
Wait, guys.
I'm just like
Dana?
if you watch any of my stuff, like I'm a very big fan of just meticulous detail. You know.
So okay, so somebody in the chat, Dana says next live stream, let's see your list. Dana, I am next to your mom's shop right now. I'm having people I know IRL coming in. Okay. What's up? What's going on, Dana? Yeah, no, actually my list, I will be posting my list, but it's not going to be the movie or the whatever, the bucket list. It's going to be like movies to watch if you want to get into film, which I think is different. It's more just trying to hit a whole bunch of different movements and hit a bunch of, things to kind of, make you a well-rounded film buff rather than, I don't know, 50 movies from 2000,
Rather than-
2015.
How
so that
the
you don't just
fuck
turn
does
into
he
J.J.
sell?
Abrams.
How does he sell a book, Chris Stuckman? He literally sold this list as a book. How the
Because it's
fuck-
like because this list appeals to idiots, man.
Yeah.
It's not even
Honestly,
idiot.
say it, but
It's
honestly-
goodness.
It's just plebs.
Honestly, what we could all do really is just package all of the scripts from all of our different videos and just sell it as like a book of essays.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna eventually do like an OKI Weird Stories book where it's just like a coffee table book of like weird stories. Like that's my plan, but like
that would
it's
be
not-
really cool.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
gonna be like this shit where it's just literally IMDb tier, Reddit garbage.
This isn't
Did
even
you know-
IMDb tier. This is Reddit tier.
You know,
This is our movie.
Yo,
this
on
is
the topic
so
of books,
trash.
I
It's
think it's really
trash.
funny.
What were you saying?
I think it's really funny on the topic of books, because if I were to ever do one, mine would fit in so well in the Stephen King section because I literally for my logo I was like, okay, let's find like a good Stephen King font, and then I found the one from the Dead Zone, I think it was. I was
Yeah.
like, all right, I'm using that. 5 seconds, that's my logo.
Dude,
I'll
Dead
tell
Zone
those
is
here.
like a terrible movie. I gotta say. real
was
quick.
telling-
I
was
think
telling
Dead
Oki
Zone
that
is
he's,
awful.
Are you talking about
Dead
the
Zone?
Stephen King or the Dragon Ball Z movie?
The one with Christopher Walken, Dead Zone.
I'm gonna look that
I don't
up.
know if I've seen it.
AJ,
It's 90s, right?
AJ Jr.
Yeah,
says his top movie, Russian Ark. That's actually a good movie, though. I like Russian Ark. I talked about that in my video about the rise of the long take. I talked about Russian Ark. And it was funny. So one of my people from Discord, I guess, tried to post my video about how long takes evolved in cinema. They tried to post it to this, I don't know, this subreddit thing. And it got kicked. It got deleted from the subreddit because it wasn't about. It was supposed to be about the making of a movie, but my video was literally about how long takes were achieved and the technology changing and stuff like that over the last 100 years. They didn't even watch the video. They literally just like deleted it and I guess banned that video from the subreddit without watching it.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Reddit's a really like it's become a really
I've become
Stupid
totally
place.
disillusioned from Reddit.
it is
Yeah.
it is garbage now. Like even like it's never been great, but like even this time last year I found like it wasn't as I don't know, just concentrated in the hands of a few power mods that are just like, nope, that can't be here. Nope, that's no self promotion. Nope, this or that.
Guys, this
Yeah,
is
I mean, you think about the type of person who becomes a mod, and like, yeah,
yeah.
Well, yeah.
So
There's
here's
that they have like
all right,
kind of
guys.
authority.
I gotta do this. I gotta do this now that we're talking about it. But one of my messages that runs pretty consistent throughout all my videos and throughout my whole online persona is fuck the Jannies. Fuck the Jannies and fuck Reddit.
Oh, like the janitors on Reddit. Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
the mods.
Yeah, fuck the Jannies. If you're a Janny on Reddit and you're
I'm just
watching this,
impressed that I'm just impressed that
Well-
nobody brought up Children of Men while we were talking about long takes.
yeah.
Well, there's that one long take, but like Russian Ark it's the whole movie's a long
Yeah.
take, right? Unless they cheated.
Ch-
I don't know if they cheated
they
some
didn't.
of those shows.
They didn't cheat with Russian Ark.
So
That's
it's
one of
not
the
a
things.
long
That's like one of
take.
the very few movies that like has done it like throughout the whole. There was
Well,
that movie
yeah.
Victoria.
Victoria, which
Like
wasn't
him-
that, I didn't care for Victoria
is-
that much.
I liked it a lot, actually.
Really?
I thought that was-
it
yeah.
wasn't my vibe.
I thought it was really good. I just like, yeah. I mean, them presenting it as a long take movie when clearly they'd like cheated on a lot of things. Yeah, I mean that's kind of fucked up or whatever. It's kind of lame, but it was a good movie.
Did you
This is very intense.
did you see that
know what?
1917 Sam Mendes got the idea to shoot it as one long take after playing Red Dead Redemption 2?
Holy shit.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he
I
was-
like that movie actually. 1917.
I
think
did
that's a
not
good
like
movie.
19. I did not like 1917.
Why?
I
Why
thought-
didn't you like it?
I thought it was boring. I thought that everything about it was just so like superficial, and it felt like I was watching a Call of Duty campaign. But without as many
I thought it was
explosions.
better than that. I felt I genuinely felt empathy for both of the main characters in it.
Well, see, I didn't.
I felt invested in it, and I thought it worked for me.
It didn't really work for me. I thought it was very just sort of like nothing. It just felt very nothing. I don't know. To me, it just everything felt very flat for me. And I
Oh,
saw it in
well,
the cinema. I mean, I know that's a subjective thing, but yeah, it just felt.
I
it
think
was-
for me, I'm a bit repelled. I haven't seen it. I'll be straight up, but like those kinds of movies, I don't know. Like I'm just so sick of World War I and II shit that like I mean, obviously Vietnam's played out now too, but like
Have
I
you seen
just-
Hacksaw Ridge?
no, I haven't actually even
Mel
heard of
Gibson
that.
movie based about Mel Gibson.
based.
Dude, I thought Hacksaw Ridge was good too.
I liked Hacksaw Ridge. I thought it was a good movie. I didn't think it was amazing, but I thought it was pretty good. I liked Andrew Garfield in it a lot. I think he did a great job acting in it.
It's kind of fallen off the map. Like, is he in anything recently?
Twink porno.
He was in Under the Silver Lake last year or the year before last.
That was
2019.
good. I liked that
Okay.
movie.
I didn't care for Under the Silver Lake.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't care for it.
I thought that was good. I thought that was really interesting. There were so many really fascinating moments in that movie, and like I went with the vibe of it, and like it wasn't perfect, but
What
It was-
was
there were
What
so
was-
many moments in it that yeah, I really liked.
what was Stuckman's reasoning for picking Star Wars of all fucking things? Was it just because it's a cultural artifact? or
Because
something?
he's
something.
Reddit.
He's a normie.
He's a normie. Exactly.
Stuckman's
I mean-
just a big fanboy.
At
He's very honest about that. I think.
At least have some balls and like say something controversial. Like be like The Last Jedi was the best movie of the last 50 years. Like I have
What?
like
I
problems
mean,
with that movie.
I
but
don't
it was
think
better.
anybody could say that and keep any kind of credibility.
I think that there is
I'm
something
gonna go out on a limb and say it
to
now.
it. To it. Well,
The Mandalorian,
Hold that.
though, by
Hold
the
that
way.
thought.
Mandalorian is like the best Star Wars thing ever.
I haven't seen it.
Man,
I haven't
I
seen it
just
either.
finished it. I'm like a huge Star Wars fan, and I finally finished watching.
Why?
I just hadn't had time, and I just kept putting it off.
No, I think he's
I
asking
finally
why are
just
you a
binged
huge
it.
Star Wars fan?
Why are you a Star Wars fan, dude? What
I
the
think that's
fuck's
what-
going on with you,
I
Jim?
like what I like.
Jim,
Hey, I mean that's
What's going on?
fine. That's fine.
Jim, it's
I mean-
okay. I own a Boba Fett costume. It's okay.
My man.
I haven't worn it in many years because I can't. I came to a realization that I don't know that I can call myself a Star Wars fan if I like a third of the movies. But-
no, because I don't like the sequel movies, and
Yeah.
the prequels are not that great either.
No,
Honestly, like I'll watch them.
I like
prequels were
Attack
the
of the
best.
Clones.
The prequels
I
were
like
the
the
best.
lore. Like it's what I like so much about it really is just how vast the lore is. Like I read the books, I read the comics.
I
I've
used
watched
to.
like all of the shows, like Clone Wars, Rebels, all that stuff. Like I just love getting.
I really
into
like
the
the Knights
lore.
of the Old Republic, like the game.
Oh, yeah,
I
the
thought
Knights
that
of
was.
the Old
that was
you
Republic.
guys,
fucking
you
fun.
guys killed. You guys are the type of people who killed cinema. I'm sorry. I'm
no.
gonna say it.
Because
I'm
I
gonna
hate
say
all
it.
the
I'm
other
gonna say it
garbage.
right now, dude. You guys killed cinema.
I
It's that
personally did it,
mentality.
and I
It was
will say
you
that.
personally,
we-
dude.
we
You got it in
stabbed-
tone.
and I
We stabbed
and
it
I
with
did-
our long
I did it
knives.
specifically to get at you, Oki.
I like the
Dude,
first
you
two movies.
you did it. You did it.
And I
Good.
like
Good.
the
Suffer.
Attack of the Clones because it's like I like it because it is so much schlock that like I like it because it's like a fucking a Neil Breen movie. But other than that, I think Star Wars works better as a video game. To be completely honest, like
It is a. It's a fucking
It's a
like
video
it's like people, a child in a
Yeah,
No,
bathtub,
straight up, the Mandalorian
smashing
is like
action
a
figures
2-season
together
fetch quest.
and making them fight. That's Star
Like
Wars.
honestly, the entire series of Mandalorian so far, it's like every episode you can almost see like the quest marker pop up. Like he gets a new quest, and like it's like in Skyrim where you see like quest started and the title of the quest or whatever. It's just like that, man.
I know Oki hasn't seen it, but have you seen Cobra Kai, Jim?
Yeah, I saw
watched
some of it.
I
thought it
watched
was
the
shit.
first season and a half of it. I loved it. I just never got around to finishing.
Oh
what
man,
was out there.
the last episode of the third season, which just came out on I think what was it Friday or something. It's all one take, and it's a big old fucking brawl. I won't spoil it. in case
Ooh.
anybody's listening,
Anomaly.
but
Can we
holy
talk
shit.
about Cobra Kai real quick? It's the most generic fucking shit I've ever seen in my
Oh,
life. Like
eat
I
my
gave like
balls.
6 episodes to it.
Eat my
Like
balls.
and it was so generic.
no.
Why do you hate
no,
good things,
no.
Why do you like bad things?
man? Not
It was-
liking popular things doesn't make you.
I will
interesting.
say it's a slow burn.
No,
it's a slow
it's like
burn.
so generic, dude.
I'm telling you, dude. It's got like if you stuck with it all the way through, you wouldn't be saying
Okay,
that,
guys.
I don't think.
You want to talk
You don't-
about
you-
good long takes and action stuff? The Raid and the Raid 2.
Yeah.
Ah,
Really
that's a good
good,
choice.
really good action cinematography and choreography. Like in the Raid 2, the whole thing where they're going from the car to car, the way that shot is just, it's just outstanding. It's just such a fun movie. But I mean, both films
See,
are super fun.
I'm a big fan of like the meticulous Jackie Chan. Like it doesn't have to be one
Oh,
long
yeah.
take, but as long as it's fucking like you can tell that they fucking spent 12 hours shooting that 1 30-second sequence, but the actors still don't look tired by the end of it. The only reason you know is because it's so perfect. That's my bag all the way. Like the wuxia-ness to it.
You know the end of the first Police Story when he's going down the he's going down the lights and all the lights are popping in his hand.
Yes.
You know that he actually
Like-
went to the hospital because of that, because he got burns all up and down his arms from that.
Oh, I believe it.
Yeah.
And I also believe that he probably didn't leave until he was sure that the take was great. And then he was like, okay, let's go to the hospital now. And if it wasn't great, he probably would have done it all over again.
Well, I think that's why, like, at the end of the movie too, like, it shows that same scene from like 3 different angles. Like, it just redoes it. It's probably it's like, you know what? I did this fucking
They
thing.
really wanted you to see he did that.
I went to the hospital for this fucking thing. You're gonna watch it as many times as we shot it. Like, it's not even like it like cuts in between to, you know, make it like one long thing. It's like, no, you watch him go down once, and then you watch from a different angle of him going down, and then you watch from a different angle of him going all the way down. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I like this. I mean, Jackie Chan though, his stuff is like Chaplin or Buster Keaton. You know.
Well, he's like
the physicality.
Yeah.
He's very much like a Dragon Ball type of martial artist, whereas Bruce Lee was a bit more stoic.
Yeah.
And have you ever seen the 36 Chambers of Shaolin?
Yeah.
Oh, that's one of my favorite. I think that probably
It's a
is
solid
my favorite
movie.
martial arts movie. Of
It's
all
also
time.
Wu-Tang Clan reference.
Yes. Do you
Yeah.
think your Wu-Tang sword can defeat me?
Oh. Chess boxing. Just good shit.
I want to watch. I think it's the 5 Deadly Venoms. That's on my list for this month.
I think I've seen that.
I'm gonna be.
I saw a bunch of those older martial arts 70s movies
this month.
like,
yeah.
years ago.
Wait, so we're at 2 hours now. I'm gonna start wrapping things up. There's a normal latency, so it's like a minute difference. So if anyone has anything,
Welcome back, Jim.
anything that they want to say or any questions or whatever to, you know, wrap up. If you have any questions we have in the call here, we have Oki's Weird Stories, we have Night Docs, and we have Anomaly Documentary. So if you have any questions for them, put them in the chat. And
Thank you.
So this month I'm going to be watching a lot more Orson Welles films just because I'm making another video on Orson Welles here after I finish this video. Human Kebab says, yo, Happy New Year, Kino. Time zone demanding I sleep, but I hope you have a good 2021. Finally saw Spree, so I'm going to enjoy your interview with a director now. A very based movie. It is a very based movie. In my interview, I had a lot of fun with that interview with Eugene. And he just did an Instagram Live today with Taylor J. Williams, I think. So Anne Frankenberry.
Can we?
What?
Oh no, go on.
Anne Frankenberry
Can we go
asked.
back
But what do you want to go back
we
to?
go- the Cobra Kai shit?
Oh yeah.
Can you,
He's
alright,
not done.
Night
He's not
Docs,
done.
Night Docs, and Anomaly documentaries. Can you red pill me on a Cobra Kai, because I really thought that was like the most by the numbers shit. At least from what I saw, it was so
you said
generic.
6
that I couldn't-
episodes you got into, right?
Yeah,
Hold
and it
on,
was
okay.
literally a guy he starts a karate.
The question I need to ask first of all is like what's your opinion on just cheap popcorn flicks? Something that's not
What's
really
the
trying
point
to
of it?
break any ground.
What's the
It's
point
just
of it?
trying to be fun.
What's the point of it?
Okay, so
I
there's no
I
way.
see it
I'm
as,
not gonna.
like-
red
Oh, no,
I'm
no,
not gonna
no.
red-
Disposable, completely
because
disposable
I mean,
garbage.
dude, I mean, I watch like, you know, really artsy, really impactful films and stuff like that. But sometimes you just want some popcorn, man. You just want something that, like, you want to throw on Deep Impact or something and just watch some freaking
I'm gonna put
asteroid
it
hit
this
the
way.
world.
But
I'm
Deep
coming from-
Impact is interesting in a way that Cobra Kai doesn't. Like Cobra Kai, beat for beat, you can figure
Don't
out
hone
what's
in
gonna
on the
happen.
specific example. I'm just using it as like an illustrative point. Like there's some movies that aren't good, right? But they're fun to watch. You know.
But
I
they're
will say
interesting.
this.
Deep Impact is an interesting film. From what I saw about Cobra Kai, it was just literally, it was so fucking generic.
Did
from
you
what I saw.
Did you watch The Karate Kid as a kid?
Yeah, and I didn't. I mean, if I like Karate Kid, it's just like disposable. Yeah, it's a cultural icon now, but it's not
I
that
don't know.
good. It's not that
You gotta
good.
remember that whole scene.
It's not going to really speak to you unless you were like a big fan of it as a little kid when your
I don't-
standards
ooh,
were
that's
really
my
I
low.
fault.
saw that
I
when I
really
was a
gotta
kid,
disagree,
but
Jim.
like I think the whole idea of nostalgia and like watching movies because of nostalgia or indulging in media because of nostalgia is a poison on
Oh,
the
come
way
on.
that
I would
it's a
say
poison.
it's more like a really,
I think
really,
that's
really
a little
sugary,
too hard line.
I think it's a really sugary treat that will like pretty much give you.
I am
like,
a media
cultural
fascist.
diabetes.
I am a media fascist, my friends.
Kino,
This is what
I just
I
think
gotta
it's
say.
like
Kino
mean,
Bloodsports.
I have strong opinions, but like I don't know, man. Like it just I think that's a little like I don't know why you have to have an opinion that strong on something, you know. But like
I saw,
get it.
I
If
saw
it's
the
not for you,
Karate
it's not
Kid
for
when
you.
I was like in high school, I think, and it was like I was like, okay, it's pretty good, and then I forgot about it mostly. But I always remember that one scene with Mr. Miyagi where he's like drunk and he's like rambling about how, like, at first you think, yeah, he's a silly old drunk Japanese guy, like whatever, blah 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 blah. This is the '80s. Nobody really knows a lot about that. He's got the stereotypical accent, this, that, and the next thing. But they give a lot of depth to him in that scene because you find out it's not really subtle, but it's subtle enough for like the people of the '80s. I'm gonna say. You find out that his kid and his wife died in an internment camp while he was off fighting and getting, the Medal of Honor for his country, America. He came away from Japan to get away from the shit that he wound up fighting against and paid the price for it, right? So, very pivotal scene.
I'm falling asleep, dude. I'm
What-
literally falling
All right,
asleep.
guys.
I can't. I'm
All
falling
right,
asleep.
guys.
Hey,
I have some questions here. So Anne Frankenberry says, which Medicare stream is the most Kino? Let me think. Well, Boulder Stream was Kill Stream, right? I can't actually remember I just remember I watch Medicare streams, but I forget like each individual one. Honestly, I can't think that much right now because I haven't really eaten all day, except you guys have seen me take my 2 bites out of my sandwich. But that's all I had today. So my blood sugar is a little bit low. It's hard for me to think. Orson Welles as a Stranger was so good. Yeah, I just got that in the mail, so I'm excited to see The Stranger. Why did Pixar go downhill after Up? I think it's because they were making a whole lot of sequels. You know? But even their like newer, like even their like original stuff, I didn't really care for. Incredibles 2 was awful.
Oh my god, I can't. That was like such a good movie, man.
I hated it. Kino Bloodsports.
see, I'm somebody who doesn't like when it comes to like movies that are just generic shit. I'd rather something be hilariously bad than just generic, and I feel like that's been the problem with a lot of Pixar movies. Like the sequels, it's just okay.
Well, Finding Dory.
Incredibles was, yeah.
Finding Dory as well. It's just like they're kind of redoing what they already did. Like Finding Dory is redoing a lot of the same themes, a lot of the same stuff from Finding Nemo, but when it was Finding Nemo, it was fresh.
Yeah, no, I will agree with you there. Finding Dory wasn't that good.
Yeah.
I don't like it because I don't like Ellen DeGeneres.
Oh yeah.
Well, now you don't.
Someone says Soul
Now
is
it's-
probably their most soulless. I haven't seen Soul. I don't have Disney Plus, so I haven't seen Soul. I probably won't see it.
Somebody said like the first like 20 minutes of that movie, it's like one of the best things that Pixar's done in like a long time. I think it was Eckhart's Ladder that was saying that. I have no idea. Like,
but
if
what
it's onto something there. I haven't seen it.
But what happens? What I heard is that the black guy that you think is the main character, Jamie Foxx, he like dies at the beginning, and then it like focuses on like Tina Fey's character for the rest of the film. That's what I heard, and I wasn't interested after I heard that. If I'm gonna be honest, I don't know. Yeah, the dinosaur one. Like, what the hell was that dinosaur? The Good Dinosaur. Nobody saw that film. I didn't watch it. Wasn't interested.
I've never even heard of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It
Pest-
came out
yeah.
and then they just kind of forgot about it.
Yeah,
It's gotten to the
pretty
point where a
much.
lot of the Pixar movies, like I can't remember. I hear the name of them and I can't remember like if it's a DreamWorks movie or not. That's pretty bad because DreamWorks movies they all have that face where they go kind of like. Well, I guess you can't see the face, but I'm sure you can all envision it.
Yeah. Yeah. Inside Out was pretty good. But, like, I think people were like, because Inside Out has a Metacritic score of something like 90 or 93 or something like that. And I think people are really, like, praising it because Pixar had been kind of meh, like, a couple of their films had come out, like Cars 2 and
By itself,
Finding-
I think that film's amazing.
I think
like not even comparing it to like other Pixar films. Like I just thought it was such an effective like commentary on just growing up and the emotions that you go through and all that kind of stuff. It was really good.
well, I mean, I liked Inside Out, but I don't think it's as good as say like Up or Ratatouille or Wall-E. Like I think those are some of Pixar's best.
I never saw Ratatouille or the robot one.
Dana says I like the Disney.
Ratatouille is a must see. Ratatouille is amazing.
Dana is a Disney shill. She says, I like the Disney movies that offer good soundtracks I'm allowed to play in my classroom. Alexa plays Utopia soundtrack. Wait, no shit. I have an Alexa here. Don't play it.
Pixar movies aren't really well known for like their soundtracks. Like they're not usually musicals, I don't think.
I don't see. I think that's what always kept me from liking Disney movies. Is that I just can't stand musicals. Like I fucking hate them.
So here's the thing about Zootopia. It's made for furries.
Yeah.
And okay, so I can actually say this. I was at a I was working for the Atlanta Film Festival. I think I might have talked about this on stream before, but Jim, you and Anomaly documentaries, I don't think you've heard this, but I was working for the Atlanta Film Festival. I was a venue captain, so I was running one of their venues. I was kind of coordinating all the volunteers there. And yeah, this was a few years ago, and it was so anyway. So we had a whole bunch of movies, play in our place. Obviously, we had some bigger stuff, and it was pretty crazy. This was like at the height of the film festival. We have filmmakers and whatever coming in, coming out. And I don't really. And I didn't really know what movie was showing just because so much was kind of happening. And one of my volunteers comes up to me and says, "Hey, Peter, I think the filmmakers need your help." And I was like, "Are you sure you can't help them?" And he's like, "No, I think that like the boss should do it." He's like, I don't really want to do it. I'm just like, okay. Now, normally when I would go behind the stage to see if the filmmakers needed my help, it was like really simple stuff. Like, oh, hey, they had stupid questions for me. Like, where's the bathroom? Do you have any food here? You know what I mean? Like, that's like what I was expecting, right? I go back there and it's this little dude. I mean, he couldn't have been taller than 5'2". And he goes, "Oh my gosh, hey, can you help me put on my fursuit right now?"
Oh my.
Did you do it?
Yeah, I mean, like, what was I supposed to do? I helped him put on his fursuit, and they were showing a documentary there called Fursonas. It was all about
God.
It was supposed to be this expose basically on Uncle Kage, but it really just makes the furries look really weird. And the funny thing is that almost everyone who came to the screening was a furry. And
Oh my lord.
afterwards they were talking. So the Q&A, I guess they came to this because there was some furry con going on at the same time as the Atlanta Film Festival. So the idea was they all were going to come to this screening, all these furries, including the filmmakers. Then they were going to go back to one of their hotel rooms and watch Zootopia before heading to the FurCon.
Oh my lord.
I hate everything about what you just said there, dude. It hurts me.
Can I watch this down with a
It's
much
such
better
a
story?
visceral
Working at a
reaction.
film festival?
I swear to God, dude, it's also like it's the infantilization of film, right? That's what's happening. It's media, it's infantilized, and that's
okay.
what leads to something like furries.
So,
Such a boomer thing to say.
no,
I
Man.
remember when I worked at the Kingston Film Festival a few years ago. Have you ever seen Fubar? Maybe Oki knows it. I don't think.
Yeah. The rock mockumentary, Fubar.
Yeah. So
I really
Fubar-
like them. The Canadian movie.
So they had the TV show at the Kingston. Like they came out a few years ago, and they did a screening of it at the film festival. And Diener came, and he threw out into the crowd like rolling papers and like fucking lighters and all kinds of shit. I was like, this is awesome, man. Like, it was some of the greatest swag I ever got from working at a film festival. Like, normally you get like keychains and shit, but like I grabbed like 10 lighters and like they lasted me for a fucking year. It was great.
Nice.
The thing about, I want to get back to Zootopia because I wanted to say this a little earlier. The thing that really bothered me about Zootopia is there's a scene that really bothers me in it. I don't know if you guys can think of this particular scene, but it's the scene where it makes it like she's this amazing police officer because she tickets like 200 people in like 15 minutes or something like that. Like, it's a montage.
Seems like an asshole police
Narc.
officer.
Narc.
It makes this montage, and it's supposed to be like showing her in like this really positive light, how she's gonna work herself up the ranks, and she's ticketing all these people. I'm like, she's an asshole. She's a complete bitch.
It's kind of like how in some places when cops, like, it gets to be the end of the month, if they haven't met their quotas, they just go around and like bust people for the very minorest like infractions. Oh, like their tail lights out, but I'm gonna be a dick and give you a ticket for it.
Does anybody does anybody really give a shit about meter maids? Like, is that something that like anybody doesn't just hate?
San Francisco,
Like,
they are the pariahs of the entire city.
Yeah.
You know, I love the episode, the American Dad episode, where he becomes a meter maid. And it's like he just like wields the power over everyone. Like, he becomes like drunk with power because of his being a meter maid. So people,
last summer there was a meter maid in my neighborhood because I live in a downtown street, and she was going around ticketing people on a fucking horse.
Oh my
Jeez.
God.
Mounted police.
That's like the most Kingston thing I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah, seriously, it is.
Okay, so people asked, did the suit smell terrible? Yeah, I can't say that it smelled good. The first suit, that is.
All furries smell like shit, dude.
Yeah.
That is a fact.
Yeah.
All furries, they don't shower.
Yeah, that's true.
Think of what the inside of a Disney World suit smells like, and then add like the smells of like a porn shop to it.
Oh my
Dude,
God.
I bet those people who are working at Disney, at least they shower. Like, the furries are fucking like whack, dude.
Dude, I went to Fan Expo a few years ago, and no joke, I didn't know this was a thing. I got sick afterwards, like a cold. I looked up online. There's this thing called con crud that apparently goes around because there's so many people at like conventions that are unhygienic. You're bound to get a fucking cold. I got
Dude,
con
people are
crud.
just like getting like fucking cholera from fucking going to these furry conventions. Like, what the fuck?
No,
They're
I love,
shitting
went
and
because I
vomiting
wanted to
at the
meet the
same
guy
time.
I
speaking
just wanted to meet the guy who voiced the Futurama Tiff.
speaking of furry conventions, when my cousin was stationed here in Pensacola, she's from Burien, Washington, and I was showing her Internet Historian's video on rainforest, and she was like, "Wait," and she was like,
Poopy diapers.
and she was like, "Wait, I know that Hilton." I was like, "What?" And she goes, "That's the Hilton down the street from where I live." And she goes, "That
Oh my
happened
God.
there?" And I was,
Jeez.
oh my
Nice.
gosh. Internet Historian's video on rainforest is so good.
Have you guys like read or watched the videos about like the furries who there was a massive leak?
Oh,
They were in-
zoosadism?
Yeah,
like,
Is this something awful?
Kira,
yeah, the
Kira the Wolf.
sadists. Yeah,
Kira
the ones who were
Wolf and
fucking. They
Shadow
were
or whatever.
yeah, Kiro the wolf,
Yeah.
and they were fucking like roadkill.
Yeah.
They were fucking roadkill. They were
There was a Medicare stream about that.
Yeah.
I think he did a few streams.
shit.
Yeah, it was a telegram group of these furries who were zoophiles, but they were zoosadists, so they like to like kill the animals and have sex with them or whatever.
yeah, they like to torture them.
God.
And torture him. Yeah, it was. And the thing is that Kira the Wolf was in this, and Kira the Wolf was friends and had been on videos with Shane Dawson. And after
Yeah.
after the leaks,
He was a huge furry personality
Yeah,
to the point where like he had a huge YouTube channel.
yeah.
He was on Shane
And-
Dawson, a video with Shane Dawson.
And then Shane went and helped do some damage control after the leaks.
yeah, he deleted the video with the guy.
No, but he went out to visit Kira the Wolf, and he actually did like actual damage control. Shane Dawson.
Oh,
did.
really?
Yeah.
Maybe he does fuck cats. I don't know.
Jesus.
Yeah, that was
Furries
Yeah.
are whack, dude. I don't know, man.
Some really goddamn weird. Like,
Furries.
Yeah. I agree.
if they were
Furries
like
are
more
whack.
mainstream, like
shit.
30 years ago, they'd be on Jerry Springer.
Here's the thing.
Oh yeah.
How did furries come onto the internet? Like, well, furries exploded on the internet by shitting up 4chan boards to the
Usenet
point.
groups.
I remember being on 4chan and fucking furries would like get into B or Pol or well like wherever I mean honestly just like any thread, and they would just start posting a whole bunch of fur shit. And
I remember like Something Awful did a huge major cull of them one time.
Yeah, and it's just like for that reason. Also the bronies, but the bronies
Oh,
have kind
my
of gone.
God.
The bronies have kind of gone away, but that's why I
Thank
think there's
God.
that MLP on 4chan that was made. I mean, it's kind of like
They're all perverts. All of them are perverts, dude.
yeah, they
If
are.
you're into that, shit, you're probably kind of fucking perverted.
I remember when I was younger and a bit more naive, I was on an internet forum for Crash Bandicoot because like I like Crash Bandicoot and I like learning about like the beta shit and the behind the scenes shit and all that. But
Yeah.
what I did not expect there would be so many goddamn furries, and I should have known better. I was on a Pokemon forum like in 2003. I knew, but what I was in store for me was just Lord Almighty.
Yeah.
That makes me wonder about like Arthur forums.
well, it's also
fucking jerking off to W.
it's also
Like
like
Arthur, like the cartoon with the aardvark.
yeah.
Yeah, like I don't know. Are they all inspired by that? I don't know.
People watch that shit still. I thought that went off the air in the
I
90s.
bet there's one fucking 40-year-old dude. He just like his whole room is just Arthur.
There's a actually I wanted to do a video on this. There's a guy that was like this fan, like a psychotic fan, and he got some cartoon. I think it was like Tiny Toons or something canceled because he was stalking the voice actresses. Dennis something. I don't remember the name, but I'd have to look into it. But he was like so crazy. He used to write letters and like
Dennis
Oh.
the Degenerate.
yeah.
Dennis.
Dennis the
Dennis
the Menace.
He had a really gross last name too. Like it was like Dennis like Polk or something like that. Like or like pork or something really really fucking
Just
nasty.
sounds like his last name just sounds like an SS officer. Fucking like pointed, angry, visceral thing. We're just like, yeah.
So I'm gonna start wrapping this up. Dana says, "You think if there were a furry in the movie The Lobster, they would just choose to be single and be turned into their animal?" I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Pretty much.
Yeah, and then they would be
When
killed
when
and
you
eaten.
said the lobster, I thought for the first second that registered to me as the lighthouse.
You like that movie, Kino, the Lobster, Colin Farrell movie?
Yeah, I did like The Lobster.
I like that movie.
Yeah,
too.
I liked it a lot. Arthur's still going strong. They got Elsa's voice actor for an episode. Isn't that Jewish lady that was in Uncut Gems as well? And what's her name? I mean, that doesn't really. Idina Menzel. So I guess I got Idina Menzel for an episode. Then he had to be the teacher in a gay marriage.
Have you ever seen that clip of John Travolta butchering Idina Menzel's name?
Yeah, classic. Classic clip. But anyways, guys, I think I'm gonna end the stream here. Thanks everyone for hopping on. And
Thanks for putting up with us.
yeah, it's been Kino
That
Blood
was
Sports.
fun, yeah.
Kino Blood Sports tonight. I wasn't expecting so much fighting, but it was fun.
Oh, I kind of want to watch Bloodsport now.
Okay, can I say something real quick? More fighting here. Earlier on, someone said I'm gonna unsub to you, Oki, because that was cringe. Unsub, dude. You won't be missed. Bye bye.
He's going all in. My man is going all in.
Yeah, I like when people. I don't know. Like, do you guys get comments? I know I said I was going to end the stream, but do you guys get comments where it's like, I sometimes get comments where it's like, you mispronounced this word, I'm leaving a dislike. Things like that.
Yeah.
I'm just like,
yeah.
who cares? Who cares? I don't care.
Literally, if
I
it's
was
green-
thinking of making a.
Sorry, go on.
I mispronounce words so many times because like I'm somebody who I did most of my learning from books, and it took me a while to go to university. Like I went to university late, right? So like I wasn't somebody who grew up with your standard academia background and all this jib jab. Like I'm pretty much a working class guy who now has 2 university degrees. So that means I know a lot of words, but I don't know how to say any of them.
Yeah.
So I think I mispronounce words like 2 or 3 times a fucking video. And I am seriously considering, once I wrap up like my first season or whatever you want to call it, of making a supercut every single time I mispronounce a word, because I sound like such a hick when I do, but like, I have a degree in education.
Yeah, I mean, that's what happens when you read a lot.
Yeah.
You learn a lot of words. You don't necessarily
And I don't
learn how to say
engage
them.
with a lot of eggheads. Like I don't want to hang out with a bunch of fucking university nerds all the time that know how to say words right.
Yeah, you know what?
How dare they know that? How dare they know how to say words right?
Those
Okay,
egghead nerds.
But guys, here's the thing. This is actually the trick to the YouTube algorithm, is mispronouncing words, because you're going to get so much engagement from these pedantic little fucks who go down in the comments, and even though they'll see 50 comments saying, this is actually how you pronounce it, you mispronounce this word. It's all the same stuff. But all these pedantic little twerps are going to go there and they're going to comment, and you're going to get a ton of engagement you would not have gotten if you pronounced it correctly.
One of my favorite shitty comments I've gotten, which I think came in the last week, was somebody, they said, this is a channel for Karens. I started laughing.
What the fuck does that even mean?
I was like, okay, Karens usually have a lot of money, so like if they're going to watch my shit, sub to me on Patreon.
Wait, I gotta find one of my favorite YouTube comments, and it was on my Citizen Kane video. I get schizo posters in my comment sections pretty frequently.
I got some of those on my Charlie Villanoff video.
Yeah, so
on like my ones about cults where I debunk like Sylvia Brown or Peter Popoff or like Ashtar Sharan. I've had some people like who just come on and like, it's clear they didn't watch the video. They just saw the headline and thought I was like writing something or doing something in support of them, because they're like, blessed be Peter Popoff.
So anyway, I get these schizo posters, and now a lot of my commenters are usually, it's like the commenters before I hit a certain number tend to be good, and then if the video starts getting recommended to people, the quality of the comments really drops off. But even with some of my like less, I'm searching for it right now. It's probably like at the very bottom, just because a lot of these kinds of comments get pushed to the bottom. Actually, he might have deleted it. Wait a second.
That snake.
He might have deleted. This was such a good.
That's the thing. You got to print them out and frame them.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he deleted it. Wait, it might be on. Let me go into my studio, because maybe it shows up in my studio, but it doesn't show up.
I'm back, but listen, I've decided Oki Ice Weird Stories is going to become elitist Weird Stories from now on. So my whole channel is going to be dedicated saying fuck Pixar movies, Disney Marvel movies are hot garbage. I want to throw them in the trash can. Cobra Kai is generic.
Don't you
My
dare!
whole-
I'll
my
come
whole
up there.
thing-
I'll come up there to Toronto, boy.
My whole thing from now on is just gonna be to shit on anything mainstream.
Call it Dickhead's Weird Stories.
Dickhead's Weird Stories. Yeah. Something like elitist weird stories / dickhead's weird stories. Something like that. Yeah. To just like push the angle where I hate anything that anybody else likes. The
Okay.
mainstream.
So
The mainstream.
So
I am
yeah.
Al Qaeda against the mainstream.
So
I am
what I've
militant
decided.
against the mainstream too, but Cobra Kai is great.
So this, oh, you know what? I made a. You guys keep talking. I remember I posted this comment to Twitter. So
Excellent.
I have.
But what are you talking about, Oki? You like fucking Star Trek: The Next Generation, which is like the
I did
boringest
like.
of-
I liked
the
it.
boringest of the Star Trek.
I liked Star Trek when I was 14. Before like all these remakes happened and all of this shit happened with Star Wars and all these comic books movies were made and all of this shit happened in the 2010s. I liked the nerd culture shit. I really did.
Nerd culture.
I
was
watched.
ruined.
I watched G4 TV. I fucking went to comic book stores when I was a child. And then all of it became mainstream and I've become very disillusioned and very aggressive against anything that I think
That's why I'm glad Godzilla
destroys a very cinema.
He tried twice to make Godzilla into like an American thing, and the Americans ain't having it. So we're gonna get Godzilla versus Kong, and then they don't get to try again for another 20 years.
I don't care about that. I just make another fucking monster movie. Don't call it Godzilla. I know that it sells better, but I don't think it's
important because I think think about Shin Godzilla, because that was a movie about Fukushima, and Godzilla ostensibly is the monster you would use, because if you were to make another monster that was like radioactive nuclear shit, you'd be like, why didn't you just use Godzilla?
Was Hideaki Anno the one who directed Shin Godzilla?
Yeah, the Evangelion guy.
Yeah.
So it's also good.
I don't have.
It's also like
I don't know.
That's like
I don't
Godzilla
have this
fleet,
comment.
like a lot.
I don't have this comment, but I'm gonna sum up this comment that this guy made on my Citizen Kane video. None of it made that much sense. The grammar was obviously terrible, and the first half of it is about how America in the 30s needed to be socialist, and that and it was like all this like pro-socialist stuff, but in a very nonsensical way. And then the last half of it is complaining, and I couldn't tell if he was talking about Citizen Kane or Mank, complaining about how it's all DNC propaganda that was being shoved down our throats with Citizen Kane, and I was like, what?
Oh, God.
Yeah, everything.
It was just
Everything's about Trump.
Yeah.
Everything's politicized.
Deep state.
Fucking Citizen Kane. Yeah, get over Trump, you fucking idiots.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm
Jesus.
fucking sick of Trump shit. Like, I don't care anymore. Like, he lost. It's done. It's over. We don't ever have to talk about him again. He's a fucking loser. And I don't care how much hate that gets. I'm not American. I don't have to play into your fucking bullshit partisan shit and pretend to respect it.
I don't like. I was sick of how inundated media was with just for the last 4 years.
Well,
but
it's
anyway,
the media's fault too for even letting him be a serious choice. Like, the media knew, this is gonna make a lot of money. We better make sure that we cover him, and even though he says stupid shit, we're gonna make sure that we do it in a certain way, and then we're gonna pretend like we're really fucking mad about it. When anybody in the first place would have just thought, okay, this guy's an idiot, whatever.
The internet. Here's the issue. The internet makes social justice warriors seem like a huge epidemic when it's a very small subsect of people who are fucking mentally ill.
All right, guys. I'm gonna leave it.
Most people are very reasonable.
I'm gonna end the stream here.
He doesn't want to lose any subs.
I don't get political on my streams or in my videos.
No, I don't blame you.
Yeah, so I'm gonna end the stream here. Everyone, thanks for hopping on. It's been a good time. I'll be released new video, Gamer from Mars video, coming out in a day or two. He just texted me that what I have is good, so just some finishing touches, and so it might be up tomorrow or a day after. And that is written by me and edited by me. So essentially, it's a Kino Corner video hosted by the Gamer from Mars. And it's about film. And it's about silent movies, and it's about the Apu trilogy. And then my next big video will be coming out in 2 weeks. So everyone keep up from that. I'll do a stream after I release my next big video. So I'll see you all later, and have a good night.
Good night.
All right.
Thank you.